Apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar. Daniel, what's going on, broj? Jonathan. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shut up, dude. Jonathan Elliott, what's going on, broj? Wiley, today we're definitely gonna. What's going on, guys? It's Wednesday. Sober October. It sucks. We're making babies today, though. We're brojing. Apartment Steve is here. And hope everybody's well. Let me know what you're drinking, because I'm going to be jealous. And you guys got to drink even twice for me tonight. And what's going on in your guys' fermenters? You guys doing any fest beers? Any Oktoberfest stuff? I'm dying to know. What's up, Lex Steel? Are my buttons working? Let me go this route. Let's go this route. All right, now I feel alive. Andy Market, what's up, man? Trans Am guy, how are you, man?
Wow.
All right. It is the first Wednesday of October. Let me know if I'm too loud or if I'm not loud enough. 80 Market, It's Just Paul. Really quick, big shout out to It's Just Paul. He supported the super chat. Let me go over to, I've got some stuff written down. We got a lot of stuff written down. Tom Manning, what's up, you brunch? Apartment Brewer, I'm going to pull you in like 2 minutes. I know you're on East Coast time, man. Just really quick, I want to give a big shout out to Trent, the Brew Show, and Hell Brews, who was on the stream last Wednesday. It was like a 4-hour stream. Anything over 2 hours, I just delete it because I know I'm going to say stupid shit when I'm drunk. And Yeast in the Beast, Yeast in the Barrage, man. Big shout out to you for coming on Thursday. That was fun. That was a lot funner than I anticipated. You're way cooler than I thought. Shout out to the super chatters last week. Zoran Zassi. Sounds like a character for Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones! It's coming back. #1 on trending on YouTube. Tom Mellon, you're the Braj. Gnome, a.k.a. I can't say your real name, but I know your real name. It's the bass player from System of a Down. It's Just Paul, man. Thank you for the super chat. Scott, Brandon Chamberlain. I think I went to high school with you. I know a Brandon Chamberlain, but if not, still wish you well, Braj. Rob Barnes, Lex Steel, Casey Yamaguchi, Theron, a.k.a. Cool Border 3, Jacob Fish, Richard McDonald, Curt Pick, Strider, Brian Lampron, and Clayton Garred. Big shout out to you guys for supporting the channel last week and keeping me from having to get a real job like the Apartment Steve, who's got actually 2 jobs. Apartment Steve, I was searching your Instagram to get a profile picture. There's 2 Apartment Steves. Maybe it's both you. Maybe not. If it's not you, it's somebody else. Sounds like we got some ass we got to kick. We got to jump some mofo. Really quick, what we're talking about tonight. New goal for Homebrew for Life is to shoot a video at Oktoberfest next year. Hopefully the COVID stuff will be over. I got sick for 6 days. I tested myself for COVID, which means I made bacon and I smelled it and it was delicious. So I don't think I have COVID. I'm just sick, like regular sickness. But yeah, does that work? Just make bacon. You can smell it and taste it. You don't have COVID. Sober October update. There's nothing different. You just clean your garage more and do an oil change. Big shout out to Chris Vodka. He helped out with Apartment Steve's graphics as well as mine, and Jules Game Art for helping out with that MTV logo t-shirt. That was really cool. And I got more support through the merch from the last video than I've ever gotten. So they made it. They deserve a shout out. Steve, here's what we're talking about tonight. Problems with floating dip tubes. Are they hype? There's pretty much not a good one on Amazon reviews. And when I mean Amazon reviews, I'm talking about at least 4.5 stars. I don't like that 4 out of 5 stuff. Really quick shout out. Richard Ninu. Yingling has a Hershey chocolate porter that he highly recommends. We were talking about Yingling with Yeast in the Barrage last Thursday. IPLs have been rebranded as cold IPAs. That's just stupid. We have the same styles of beer. We're just renaming now for marketing purposes. Steve, I want to talk about that with you. How to have a faster brew day. These are just questions people ask me. How to have a faster brew day. My best answer for that is get a bigger and better burner. Unless you're the apartment brewer. You have to do inside. Talk about brew tubers. Raul, what is a fest beer? Oktoberfest. Joseph Ide, I owe you a t-shirt. What happened in Ninkasi? What happened to Ninkasi? Somebody asked, I want to talk about this a lot. Are high ABVs done? We'll talk about that in a little bit. Brandon Chamberlain has donated $3. Are you the Brandon Chamberlain I went to high school with? I want to know. And I'm drinking this shit tonight since I'm doing Sober October. This is my NBC juice tonight. Somebody said it can clear you up, and whatever flu or bug I have going on right now, I'm going to be doing shots of apple cider vinegar. This could be the best day of my life and the worst day of my life combined. Our high ABV's done. Steve, I want to talk to you about that. Genus Brewing on their chat on Sunday. They have a chat I want to plug. It's at 9 a.m. I love Genus, but it is the worst time to ever do a stream because people are hungover. And now it's football season. I love you guys to death, but maybe do a remix on when you guys want to do that. Rumble. Rumble is the new YouTube, but uncensored. Somebody was talking about it in the chat last night, and I want to talk about it some more. Liam Hurley commented on a propane exchange. This is just a quick little thing I want to throw out there. Pro tip. If you go to a propane exchange, the tanks that give you, if you go to a propane exchange like 7-Eleven or Home Depot, the tanks that they give you are only 3/4 capacity. It is cheaper and you get more gas if you go to a place that actually fills the tanks for you. That is a bro move right there. Big shout out to Liam Hurley. I don't think you're lying. And thank you, Brush. Thank you, Brush. Steve, I want to talk a lot about brew in the bag. I wrote down our electric systems brew in a bag. We could talk about that. This is another Steve question. I want to do a cider. What yeast do people recommend for ciders? And I want to talk about big trends in alcohol from where we're at now, going all the way back to the West Coast IPA. The biggest things in alcohol, the hard seltzers, the hazies. And I kind of want to put a little retrospect spin on that. But what's going on, everybody? Steve, I'm going to pull you in here right now. Trent, how's my voice? Big shout out to Trent. We just did a collab. It was a brew in the bag. What up, Yeast in the Barrage? Is everything coming through? Got that one.
Back off, war child. Seriously.
Sober October. Am I the only one drinking tonight? Hack attack. I highly doubt that. I think most people are drinking. And when I go back to drinking, I'll probably cave tonight. What up, Josh? Short circuited in the house, man. Rob Barnes.
Get over here.
Matthew Ushman. Big fan of Genius. What's going on? Matthew Ushman. He's got a YouTube channel. And check him out. I wish I had a moderator, Short Circuited, or Brew Show. If you want to throw in Matt Ushman's channel in the chat, that'd be super rad. I think he'd appreciate it. He's got really good content. Brew tubers get no love. We need every type of shine we can get so we don't filter out because it's very easy to filter out. Mohammed, what's up, man? All right, Steve, I got to bring you in. Are you ready?
Wow.
Is he in the Discord? What up, Boston Maddox? What's going on? MTC. English Cider Yeast, Greg Murphy, the pump warlord. I am not doing Sober October. Steve, you have to get wasted for me tonight. And let's go ahead and without further ado, this is the Apartment Brewer. I was watching his videos. I couldn't go to bed till like 4 in the morning last night. Here he is. All right. And he's been kicking ass on his new channel. He's got a link in the bio. We'll talk a little bit about it, but if you guys subscribe to his channel, that would be a bro move. That would be a super power barrage move. So without further ado, here we go, Brush. Let's go to start video call. How's my audio? Mic check. Mic check, mic check, mic check. I am on low latency too. I know that Discord's kind of a stickler when it comes to bandwidth.
Let's see. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great, but I cannot see you. What's going on, Braj?
All right. Give me a sec.
We can hear you. I can still pull in your audio.
That's because I did not start the OBS camera. Okay,
there you are, man. Looking
all
good.
Right, cool.
Dude, way better than last time. Okay, let me...
Sounding better?
You sound good. You look good, man.
Good. I think I did something different in my audio, so I'm running my mic directly through my camera now instead of directly into the computer. I had no amp, and I realized that was why it was as low as it was last time.
Okay. Dude, it sounds really good. Now
hopefully it's better this time. Good.
No, it's really good, and I'm always worried about people I have on because I cannot control that. You right now have a good setup. Short Circuit has a great setup. Just Brewing has a great setup. And Trent's got a good setup. But I kind of take a shot in the dark when I just get people on here, and then you're just dealing with shitty audio and we're live. So I appreciate you having us. So I'm going to call this Steve's window capture. We'll just do it that way. And let's go to... We're going to go one more time. I appreciate you're here. I know it's 3 hours ahead on your time.
I'm good.
You're chilling? I don't know
Yeah.
why this isn't working.
I'm gonna probably be good for maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
I'm
See
trying.
how that goes.
Right on, man. Yeah.
Gotta get up at 7:30, so we'll see how it goes.
We'll do a 24-hour stream. If there's ever going to be a 24-hour stream, it's going to be this
That sounds
one.
good.
All right, here we go. I got you. I opened up
Nice merch store.
yeah, go straight to my merch store. Hey, check it out. Here's Apartment Steve. All right, Braj. Can we hear Steve? Can we see Steve? I'll make myself a 56K modem. What up, Noel? All right. I think it looks good. I'll make me smaller. Let's go this way. We'll go. Is this? What's that?
It's good.
We're looking good. Can you guys hear Steve? We got 60 people here right now. We might get to 100 tonight, man. Steve, you might be my rabbit foot. Here we go. How's that? What are you drinking, Braj?
This is actually a Vienna lager that I brewed last week.
My man.
It is definitely not ready yet, but it's
Getting
like
there.
it's still kind of cloudy, you know. It's dark and
You got to just not pull a CH. The key to having good homebrew is not drinking it all in 48 hours, letting it sit for a minute and see what happens.
It's tough.
It is tough. It is definitely tough. And I think for November, I'm going to try to do this thing where I'm going to drink a lot. I'm going to drink a lot of beer, but I'm not going to spend any money going out. So I'm going to just have like 5 homebrew batches, 20 gallons of beer, and hopefully it lasts me through November.
Yeah, you're gonna make up for your sober October.
I got to make up for my sober October, man. But this is Steve. Steve, what's going on, man? For the people who do not know your channel, what do you I know what you're drinking. Where are you at in the world, and what's been going on, man?
Wow.
Yeah, so I run the Apartment Brewer channel.
Yes, you do.
It's a basic channel about homebrewing that's mostly grain to glass and other kind of tip type videos. I am in the Northeast, so I'm pretty familiar with the beer in the Boston area. I live in New Hampshire, southern New Hampshire, so I'm a little bit disconnected from the Boston beer scene otherwise, but you get most of the good distro up here. And CH, you actually have a package on the way.
I know you are the man, and you got
stuff. So, well, hopefully it gets there in the next couple of days. They said they had a shipping delay, so I'm not sure what that means, but you're gonna get some of the hype stuff.
much appreciated. And I am going to take a cheat day. I'll probably take a couple cheat days, take a cheat week or something. But I do want to drink your beers fast. Steve's sending me some of his homebrew.
They're pilsners. They'll keep. You'll be all right.
Okay.
If you want to wait on it. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
The rest of them are all in cans. They're professionally brewed. You'll be fine.
Appreciate that, brother. And you and Noam are going to have the last of my small and medium t-shirts because I have a lot of larges and
Nice.
extra larges, but I'm going to ship out the couple that I have left. I got two X's, but for the most part,
Nice.
yeah, I'm trying to get rid of the old
So-
stuff.
You run your shirts through Teespring though, right? And they don't ship it for you, or you just keep a bunch on standby to ship for free.
I did that. I do it now, and because I used to. Who's that? Some neighbors going crazy, man. I used to do it through Shopify, and you'd have to buy 100 or whatever, and you get your you get your price breaks. The more you buy, the cheaper it is. Anybody who wants to start a brewery or start a merch store, that is the way you pretty much have to go. We're fortunate as YouTubers where they run a store for us and they give us good exposure, but they're going to take a lot more of the margins, but it's still worth it because when I was selling t-shirts from Homebrew for Life, you got to go to the USPS store once a day for, one t-shirt or 2 t-shirts. Like this sucks. So I have 100 t-shirts. I might have broke even, lost money, but it's still cool to give them out and see. I love what, I've seen people send me pictures of them wearing the merch. I've seen a couple people in the wild, like at Pizza Port, wearing Homebrew for Life stuff, and it is a very good feeling.
That's
so I'm
awesome.
I'm pretty much just trying to get rid of them. And with that, I owe Joseph Ide a t-shirt. I do not have his address, but we were doing trivia, and some people win the trivia, and then they just fall off the face of the earth. But I do owe Joseph Ide a t-shirt. So that's what I do. Is it coming through? Are we still good?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Good. Did we get Matt Ushman a plug? Steve, have you checked out Matt Ushman's channel?
I have not. I will do that right now.
Yeah, give it a go. I mean, you know, Steve, you know how hard it is to kind of get the momentum going with the homebrew channel, and I feel like we're speaking for. I feel like I'm speaking for every brew tuber. You always think like, damn, like I'm out of ideas. What do I do? What, you know, like what's this? What's that? And it's very easy to
I'm
burn
struggling
out.
with that right now.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm struggling with that right now. I mean, Grand glass is good for however long you want to make beer on YouTube for, but when it comes down to anything else, you know, you think you have good ideas, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, well, that's not really that good, and I really want to go down that route, and then all of a sudden you're just out of content. So I'm kind of stuck with that right now.
What if we flip flop? Because I think the biggest difference between Homebrew for Life, grain to glass videos, and your videos, or I would say Trent's kind of in my stance too. But when I do a grain to glass video, it's way more experimental. You know, I need to go back to doing like, hey, this is like my favorite West Coast IPA I made from 5 years ago. But the videos that I make are like dill pickle goza or maple bacon beer, or smoky
Yeah, and that's awesome.
beer. It's thank you, but it's a niche of a niche. You know, the way I see it is like, I don't know. Maybe I just need to go back to doing more popular traditional styles, and I don't know, because I'm out of ideas. I'm 110% out of ideas.
Yeah, I just at that point I kind of just feel like, you know, you kind of want to make what you want to make, what you want to drink, I guess. And that's kind of been my thing. Like I have a running list of stuff that I've written down that says, you know, I want to make these beers because that's, you know, what I'm interested in at the moment. But
Yeah.
you know, that might change a month or two down the road when you finally get to brew them. So
Back off, war child.
yeah.
Seriously.
But
I mean, there's nothing wrong with making a traditional beer. Like you're going to make the most boring beer in the world, and you might actually be surprised by that. You might enjoy it.
and you're also going to be able to drink it, because if you do an experimental beer, you're like, damn, I got 5 gallons of habanero cider. You know, I got 5 gallons of dill pickle, Carolina Reaper. Like, damn, you know. But if you do a traditional beer, it's going to be a safer bet. I don't know how buried you'll get on YouTube because there's a lot out there, but you're at least going to know you're going to be able to drink it. You're at least going to know that it's going to be more of a universal beer for you and your friends and stuff like that. But
Aliyaz Mohammed says do some smash beers, and that's a great idea.
I need to do that too.
I don't know if you have. I mean, you've been brewing for a while. I don't know if you have a hop that you haven't tried yet, but that's a way to keep your boredom in check.
Yeah, I'm going to do an El Dorado Hazy, Pina Colada Hazy. Really quick, I want to
That's cool.
Quick shout out to Short Circuited Brewers. He has super chatted. Step Back War Child. Big shout out to Brian, Short Circuited. If you guys know us, you know him, and he's been on a serious content spree, as with Steve. And you kind of have to. You kind of have to put out a lot of content. You know, if Steve and Brian, you know, if you put out a video once a month or once every 2 months, it's almost not even worth it. You know, as shitty as that sounds, but that's the case because YouTube's not going to give a shit about you at all. So shout out to both these guys on right now for freeing up their time, and they have real jobs. They don't just wake up whenever they want to and decide if they want to edit or decide if they want to work or stuff like that. And they're still on that grind. What up, Clayton Garred? Steve,
It's still fun.
What's up?
Still fun.
Are you what's your editing workflow time like?
Usually, so I do 2 kinds of videos, right? So the grain to glass, which has a lot more time involved, and the kind of tip and trick videos. Generally, with the shorter ones, like the tip and trick videos or equipment reviews and stuff like that, it's about 12 to 18 hours of time.
Damn,
and then with
Raj.
the grain to glass, it's like 18 to 20. Because
Plus fermentations.
I don't ever do anything in one take because I suck at talking in front of the camera, and I have a very specific thing that I always want to say, but I don't always get it out in the first try. So it's always like, you know, 2 or 3 takes in, and I eventually get a good one in.
Could have fooled me, man.
Kind of like what happens there, and then I take, you know, I do all my cuts, I do my green screen work. That takes a long time, and then after that, it's like, you know, brewing and brew day and and all that stuff is actually really quick clips that are really easy for some reason, surprisingly. But then you got to do color work, you got to do sound work, and all that
Audio,
stuff.
volume up and down.
That's a lot. Like I just learned how to color grade a couple months ago.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't think I do either, to be honest.
Fair enough.
So
Is it Photoshop?
It's like playing with the levels of the red, green, magenta, all that stuff, the different colors, and messing around with how it works. Because I have really bad lighting, right? So I have 2 studio lights on right now, but it's still yellow in here. And if I use my software, I'm going to see that yellow, and I want to kind of take that out sometimes. But that's a personal thing, I think. But
yeah,
I was actually just talking to Trent about this earlier. Not specifically, but like I was like, hey, can I get some editing tips from you? So I think we're going to have some chats later.
Yeah, and what you said, it's a personal thing. I think that when you edit or you're involved in production in any which way, you have the eye, you have the ear for it. And I don't think anybody would notice that your room is yellowy right now, except for you. And I think I'm speaking for Short Circuited and the Brew Show as well. This is good enough. It's like a little 2-inch Game Boy screen. It doesn't need to be 4K.
It's kind of tiny. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, man, as long as the audio's good and yours is, that's what matters.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. It was just kind of upgrading the audio from, I think it was my cell phone for a couple of years.
Yeah, and Beast had something going last week where he was doing some Bluetooth, and then he went to his phone, and it worked out wonders. And as long as it's good enough, man. Here's the NBC for Brian. Actually, we got another.
Really doing that?
Somebody told me it was a remedy thing. Casey Yamaguchi. Speaking of traditional beers,
this I want to see.
Have you ever tried this? Some people say it helps with hangovers. Some people say it helps for getting over sicknesses. Apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna throw up. It smells like acidic eggs. Speaking of traditional brews, have you brewed any old world recipes from the 17th and 18th century? Any lager?
That's a cool question.
Saw some on the Townsend YouTube channel. Been curious ever since. I'm doing a smoked beer coming up. Lex Steel, NBC. Steve, you ready?
Yeah, this doesn't count, does it?
I'm just going to shoot this really back and see if I live to tell about it.
All right, let's go.
Oh.
I gotta get another beer anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounded rough.
Oh. That's the only one we're doing to
that. I'll see you later.
That's all the time we have. Whoa, morning. Steve, I got some questions. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I got some questions about brewing a bag because I absolutely love it. And, I'm
happy you tried it. It's so awesome.
It is awesome. It's very awesome. And what I want to know is, can I do brew in a bag on my Anvil Foundry or any electric system and just do the same course of action? Don't heat up sparge. Just add all your 7 or 7.5 gallons of water in the beginning and then just mash it all in. I mean, would that work the exact same way?
Yeah, that's literally how it works.
Okay.
With those electric systems. I mean, that's what I understand. You know, you can sparge with them if you want to. There's nothing stopping you from that. But for the most part, it's the same concept.
Let's face it, man. Manually stirring is probably way better than any pump, you know? So I'm going to give that a go. And at the end of the day, if you get your sugars, you get your sugars, because that's what sparging is. It's getting sugar conversions.
I mean, I'm kind of like you in that I don't really care about efficiency all that much.
Yeah.
So it's for me, like, you know, if you want to throw another pound or two of grain in there to make up for it and not sparge, then you're saving yourself time, and at the same time, you're still getting decent beer out of it. So that's I usually do that. I do like usually about 8 gallons of water in the beginning of the brew, and dump the grains in, mix them up, do the mash, pull it out, let it drain, start up the boil. So that's about it. And
the difference between what I did, I don't know if you watched our video. I think you did watch.
I did, yeah. It was awesome.
Appreciate that, man. But the advantage...
Really good video.
Thanks, Brosh. The advantage you would have with propane is you obviously can speed up. Faster brew day. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yeah.
But the advantage you have with electricity is that you have the temperature control. So you could just set your mash to 152 and then just stir until you hit your number, and you don't have to worry about ruining a brew day with getting too drunk and forgetting to turn the propane up or down or something like that. But yeah, I'm in on brewing a bag, and I think it's great. I think it not is going to save home brewing or not change the industry, but I think it's going to retain a lot of home brewers. I think if people just get in, start from extract, and then jump into brewing a bag, I think that people will brew longer. It's less space.
I think they could even start at brewing a bag.
Or even start at brewing a bag.
It's so simple compared to what everyone used to think all grain was.
Yeah, and Beast said that. He said, Rob Barnes, cheers, Braj, and Alias Mohammed, big shout out to you guys. I'll do another one of those in a second here. No, I won't. But Easton the Beast was bringing that up. He was talking about brewing a bag was frowned upon 6 years ago, which is weird because it was big like 10 years ago. And when I mean big, when I type in brewing a bag and I look at all the non-current brew tubers, if you look at the dates of some of these videos, they're like 9, 10, 11 years ago. I never even knew about brewing a bag. When I got into the game, it was all about the 3-tier system. It was all about, if you could afford it, get the 3 kegels. And if you can't afford it, have 1 kettle and then 2 Home Depot 10-gallon water coolers. One of them's your hot liquor tank, and one of them is your mash tun. And that was looked at as like the Ferrari of homebrewers.
I used to want that when I was brewing a bag. Back when I was like maybe 2 years into brewing, it was
a lot of cleanup.
I would see those 3-tier systems, and I was like, oh yeah, I can make so much better beer on that. Nowadays, that's not really the case. Mm-hmm. You know, you're going to make slightly better beer perhaps because you'll be more efficient and that'll make you happier. But like, I used to care about wanting a sparge and all that stuff, and you don't need that anymore.
You don't need that anymore. Brian Short Circuited does not like what we're talking about. But again, there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. Is someone bringing up politics? Only I'm allowed to bring up. I'm just kidding. What are people bitching about in here?
I mean,
no, but
there is something to be said about Vorloff. There is something to be said about putting clear wort into your boil kettle, but you're kind of getting that with the recirculation in a brew.
Yeah, and what I love for starters is that Steve, you with us? Steve, how many fingers am I holding up? Esteban, Steve Areno.
There
he is.
My internet cut out, I think, for a second there. Sorry about that.
You're chilling, man. Were you? Do you have to go pay your AT&T bill really fast? Is that where you went? Just like what happened to Larry?
Yeah.
Yeah. What I love about brewing a bag is that when I was really getting into brewing, I was trying to figure out how to, I put a lot of stress on sugar conversion. And I wanted to mill it and change the rollers of my mill really thin. And then you end up getting a stuck mash. And stuck mashes could be a very easy fix, or they could be a nightmare. Sometimes you could just open up your ball valve and jam a barbecue thermometer down there. Or sometimes you have to dump the whole thing into another tank and then come back. And you do not have to worry about a stuck mash in brewing a bag. And it's just it's not a maker or a breaker, which keeps which keeps people from maybe coming or going back from homebrewing. But having a stuck mash sucks, and you don't have to buy rice hulls anymore. So Jorge Gnome Castro, but do you have any advice for brewing a bag? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, do you recommend it for new beginners? Do you recommend it
100%.
For advanced brewers to? I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's good for both. If you know what you're doing versus if you're starting out, it doesn't really matter. Like when you start brewing, I think it's easier to understand, especially if you already are used to extract brewing and you've been.
We're on low latency. Mic check, mic check, mic check.
Is it still not working? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Are you on Wi-Fi or Ethernet?
I'm on Ethernet. Not sure what's going on here.
It's all good. If it comes and goes like that, it's
I don't know how much you heard of anything I said. But...
No, can you repeat that?
Yeah. In a nutshell, like Brew in a bag is great for both starters and experienced brewers, I think, and I think it's really easy to get into, especially if you've already started working with extract, because you're probably used to having that bag of steeping grains, and then you could just scale that up to the full batch. So that kind of makes it a little bit easier to wrap your head around. And then if you're an experienced brewer, you already you have mastery of your system, and it's actually not that hard to kind of get everything figured out with brew in a bag. I did it for a couple of years, and it was really easy to just kind of go from recipe to recipe to recipe. Once you figure out roughly why your system responds, it's actually relatively easy to keep it consistent.
And my only kind of complaint about my brew in a bag experience was that I used a 7-gallon kettle, the Anvil 7.5. I would probably do it on a 10-gallon kettle. That's what I would get.
Yeah, definitely.
For 5-gallon batches. Then you have nothing to worry about unless you're doing a double or triple imperial something. But other than that, you're fine. You're good to go. But Trent and I, we pretty much had to go after a 4.5-gallon batch, which not a problem. And it was just so fast. It was so convenient, and it was the fastest, fluidest brew day I've ever had. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it really does cut out a lot of time, and you're only cleaning one piece of equipment. So I mean, it saves you time on the back end too. And I kind of miss it a little bit. I like doing my electric system because it's easier to kind of walk away from it and get things done in the meantime. But it is a little bit extra work otherwise.
Well, electric systems are great for brew tubers because you have temperature control. So you don't, if you're on propane and you're running around, I got to get the tripod, did that battery charge? Where's that battery? It could be stressful.
Yeah, I do edit during my match.
Yeah, it could be very stressful. But if you have temperature control, you're like, okay, where did we leave the headphones? Where is my SD card? Oh shit, it's still in my computer. I always have the problem where I'm like, where is my SD card? Did a robber come in and not steal anything except my SD card? Probably not. Oh, it's still inside my computer in my iMac. That's what happened. I always
have the problem where I have a camera that writes to 2 SD cards, and I always forget that I have one in there. And I take one out, put it in the computer, transfer a file over, put it back in, and for some reason it switches to the second SD card the next time I hit record, even if I put the SD card back in. So I always forget that. So I'm juggling 2 SD cards trying to figure out which clips go where, and it's just it's really annoying.
Production. But I love it.
Yeah.
When you upload that video, Brian uploaded
when it works,
today,
it's so much fun. Yeah. It's
the Hail Mary, man. Where you're going to throw it out there and someone's going to write, hey, man, this got me back into brewing. Hey, I just subscribed. I sent this to my buddies. We, all the good comments make it worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
I got a question about... This is a good question because you're on the eastiest coast you could get, and I'm on the SoCalist west coast you can get. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I have a buddy, Trevor, who's opening up a brewery in Oceanside, South O, right up here. He's the Australian guy who's on some of the videos. And he's not going to do a beer that's over 7%. He's not going to do any beers that's over 7%. They're going to range anywhere from about 3.5 to 7. And which is kind of a gutsy move. Not a gutsy move, but it's a move. It's a newer move because I still have friends that have breweries and they post on Instagram and they're like, hey, come down and check out our new white IPA. It's 7.8% or 8.2%. And I'm just like, damn, man, like I can't really drink those anymore unless Trent gives me one and I have to NBC it. But do you think high ABVs? I guess we're just talking about West Coast IPAs or beer in general. Do you think high ABV beer is done?
Absolutely. Dude, it's so hard to find an IPA out here that's under 7%.
Really?
When I was going through the beer store and trying to find kind of like some variants of cans to send you, like I had a hard time not finding things that were over 8% double hazy IPAs because that's like 90% of what's out here. and it's really not. It's not dead.
It's not dead.
At least in the IPA department. I mean, if you're looking at other types of beers, then there's plenty of options out there. I mean, we have a beer. We have a brewery out here that specializes in session beers. It's called Notch Brewing Company, and
Notch
they
Brewing.
brew nothing over 5%. Doesn't matter what kind of beer style it is.
Over 5%.
Yeah.
And
it's actually really successful.
And I guarantee you, you know why? Because they make the most money because they could sell more people.
Yep.
And
it's all about how much grain you put in that.
It's all about the ABV because they're not just going to go to a brewery and have one beer. They're going to have 3 or 4. But if you're serving them 9-10% beers, you're probably going to have problems.
Yeah,
every night.
It's a little bit rough to drive home after a couple of those. So yeah.
Yeah, and Trevor's from Australia, Gold Coast, South Coast, South Coast, and he says like Raul. I'm in a group text with Raul and Trent, and we just talk and send each other memes and stuff all day and see what's going on with each other. But he was drinking a 3.6% beer from Mexico. And I've never seen anything that low, 3.6%. Not in California. I've seen it I think in Colorado and Utah because they have to bring the alcohol content down a little bit to make it legal. But I think it's the same way in Australia. 3.5% beers are very popular. And I know Trevor's going to sell some of those. And I know that no breweries sell alcohol that low. And I think it's going to be a hit. You'd have to bring the price down a little bit, but I think
I haven't seen it outside of like a Goza.
Yeah, he called it like an ultra low lager or super low lager. If Hellbrews is in here, man, I'd appreciate some backup, man. 3.2, Richard T. 3.2 was famous in Oklahoma. 3.2%. I mean, that's low because we're all, when we think of craft beer, we think of pretty much the West Coast IPA, everything that's super bitter and hop heavy. So I think it might rub a lot of people the wrong way. Like they're getting ripped off. They're not getting their dollar, their bang for their buck. It's like, well, there's a $7 beer. That's
definitely buy that.
What's that?
I would definitely buy that.
I would buy it, but I'd want to see it maybe $1 cheaper. I mean, if there's a $7 beer that's 7% and there's a $7 beer that's 4%, I'm probably going to buy the one that's got more booze in it. And it would make sense a little bit more if it wasn't the same price. 2.5% ABV.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Michael. Jorge Castro. I stay away from higher ABV too. My tolerance for alcohol has gone too, so that helps. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to sit down at a brewery and actually have like a bunch of different beers and not get completely wasted if you have to get out of there, But if you're dealing with 5 to 7% beers most of the time, that's fine. But if like you go above that and you have a flight of 8 and 10% beers, like you got to sit down for a while and wait it out, and that's kind of annoying.
Mm-hmm. And I drink beer for the most part based off where I'm at in the day. If it's a hot day out, summertime on Coast Highway, those 3.5% beers are going to make a lot of sense. If I do want to have a 9% beer, I better be at my house or really close to my house. we could have a party and we could crack it and we could share some, but I'm not driving. But 6-7% beers, I drink those all day, but I don't know. I just think that these 3.5% beers, maybe they're just going to work way better in hotter places in the world because I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Australia, Mexico, Southern California. So
well, Jorge Castro is saying he's getting a 4% hazy IPA and he's getting a bunch of complaints on it.
His own?
I think so.
What's going on with that, Jorge?
About it being 4%, but you think that would go well in Puerto Rico where it's hot and humid.
Agreed.
I'm actually about to make a session hazy IPA at some point.
I mean, as a home brewer, you want to make it a little bit boozier because, I don't know, you don't want to go through it too fast. I would make it a little bit boozier.
That's true.
I'm going to make a
I like to keep my beer a little bit less boozy so I can go through it faster, actually, so I can kind of keep up with things sometimes.
All right, what is this shit? I'm drinking dry hopped Kloss Tall. I don't know about this, man, but non-alcoholic beers,
Ooh,
it's not good. And another thing Peter said from Genius Brewing, he said, and this might even go for the same as hazy IPAs, but he was talking about how there's never going to be another big IPA ever again. And when I talk about big IPA, I'm talking about Sculpin. I'm talking about Pliny the Elder. I'm talking about, I don't even know. What was the most sought after West Coast IPAs 5 or 6 years ago? I'm not agreeing with this or disagreeing. I'm just talking about what Peter said. I'm not saying there's not going to be good IPAs. I'm talking about one that is sought after nationwide at that
just because
level.
everybody makes them and they all get hyped.
There's just too much competition.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What about as far as saying that the same thing for hazy IPAs? I mean, what's the most popular hazy IPA? It's got to be Treehouse or Heady Topper.
Popular is hard to call because there's so many.
It'd be popular in Southern California. But everybody would
hyped, is another thing. And, we talked about this many times, but, the most hyped beers out here are really all those hazy IPAs from, The Alchemist, like Heady Topper, and from Treehouse, and from Trillium, and from Lord Hobo. Like, I sent you Boom Sauce, by the way. You're going to want that. You're going to want to check that out.
Boom Sauce is from New Hampshire?
Yep, I sent you Boom Sauce. And actually, no, it's not from New Hampshire. It's from Mass. But it's a big one down here. Also, 77 Trans Am guy said Night Shift Whirlpool. That is a great beer. That's also in your kit.
What one's that? Oh, okay, right on, man. I'll return the favor, but I'm gonna send you back.
No, you don't need to.
I'm gonna send you back some apple cider vinegar and some whatever this shit is.
No, I want that crazy whiskey you guys have been talking about.
Crazy whiskey we've been talking about.
The whiskey you were talking about with Larry.
Oh, what was that called? I forgot about that. No, I want to get you some Society Pupil. Do you get Society Pupil out there?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Never heard of it? That was kind of the biggest, not the biggest, but like maybe one step down from Pliny the Elder, Blind Pig, was Society the Pupil. But it's not as much sought after as it used to be because they put it in 6-packs, which sucks. I mean, it sucks that it loses hype like that, but
good.
This is how it works.
Forward to it.
Patrick D. Treehouse trolling the town of Sandwich, Mass. Today on Instagram. I loved it. What is he talking about?
They just opened up a brewery in Sandwich, or a tasting room or something. That's on the Cape.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not sure what he's talking about because I don't follow him on Instagram, but yeah, I'll have to look that up. I don't follow many breweries on Instagram, to be honest. I follow the home brewers, but breweries get kind of annoying.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's just like, check out our Oktoberfest today.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's cool if you're trying to sell your brand and everything, but it's not like my type of thing.
I'm with you 100%. Really quick, big shout out to Zach McCrary. Can't stick around too long today, but gotta show some love. Need suggestions for golf beers for tomorrow. The lightest beers. But Steve, I'm with you 110%. When I first started Instagram, I followed like 200 breweries, and I get it. I understand, like, they take pictures of beer. But if you're just scrolling on Instagram or Facebook and it's like, tag 2 friends, our new IPA is back, or like, tag 2 friends, our new IPA is back, you're just like, damn, man, someone's got to come out with some video content. And Trevor realizes that. And here's the thing. There's so many breweries in San Diego, and everybody's writing, what's your favorite hop? You know, the captions are almost like cookie cutter cycle through. It's tag 2 friends, tag a friend that needs a beer. And it's like, guys.
Or half the time it's a picture of like their fries, you know?
Yeah. It's like, guys, do you understand? Like, this is what just another crab in the bucket is. You know, if you were the only brewery in town, it might make sense. But if you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, all these 100 accounts just look like the same one account. It just looks the same.
Yep.
Somebody say
That's the problem that I had with it is it was all the same stuff.
Right.
And it just got boring. And I mean, I get it why they do it, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it just for me and what I enjoy and the stuff that I spend the time on scrolling and while I'm taking a dump in the bathroom is all about homebrewing equipment and homebrewing stuff and just everything there's like a million homebrew accounts out there that are more creative than breweries, and that's what's so cool.
I agree with that. 110%. And I'm kind of at the, we've talked about this. I'm kind of at the place in my life where like, I just kind of want to see beer pictures. I get even weirded out when my buddies post pictures of their toddler every day. They got their kid all over the internet. And I was like, dude, I don't need this showing up on my phone every day. But I just want to see beer, and I want to see people mashing in, or Gnome Brewing showing the final product. Or I like following Box Labs Instagram because like I want to see what's going on in other parts of the world, seeing what their hazies look like, and check out their ABVs and stuff like that. But some of my best friends breweries, and I can't name names, but every day it's just like, here's our new IPA, and I'm just like, God damn, man, like you guys, I understand you have 10,000 followers or 20,000 followers or 50,000 followers, but at some point it's like, do you think you're doing a good job? Like, do you think like, yeah, like good hashtag? Like, I don't, like, guys, like write a joke, on Instagram, you can do 1-minute videos. You could tell a really good story, just film the mash-in process in slow motion, film, I don't know, dry hopping or somebody working and put it in slow motion with a good song over it. And that's going to catch way much more attention than people just, tag 2 friends. What's everybody drinking tonight? What's everyone just like, fuck, man. But live your life, it ultimately comes down to maybe budget for people, like, can we afford a videographer? Can we just have somebody figure out how to do this on iMovie on their phone really fast? But I've talked to Trevor about this. Like he knows that video content is way more engaging than stills.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So that's all I got to say about that. Somebody brought this up, was helping me out with. I want to do a cider, Steve. Steve's from cider country. Would you say that New York is the capital for ciders?
Couple things. First of all, I've never made a cider. So if you're asking for advice on how to make it, I am definitely the wrong person to ask.
No, that's fair.
And secondly, I haven't had that many ciders outside of the local area. So I don't know about New York. They definitely have some decent ones, I'm sure, but the only real cider company that I know is Down East, which is in East Boston. And they make a lot of really nice ciders that you wouldn't like it because they use a lot of Belgian yeast. But
I don't like that.
Those are the kind of ciders that I like, actually.
Belgian ciders?
That's just my palate. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna write. If anybody from the chat has any cider recommendations,
it's not something I know a lot about. But it's been on my list for a long time. I've really wanted to make one, but I've just never gone around and gotten the unpasteurized cider because it's hard to find. You have to either go directly to the orchard to get it, or you have to find it through some specialty store. Because I can't just find it easily outside of specially. I don't want to specially order it, but like I just want to find it locally if I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been wanting to make one for a long time. I like ciders. They're fun.
Gluten-free for all you celiacs.
And apparently they're a lot easier to make than beer.
That's what Shred's saying right now. The Brew Show saying they're super easy to make. And I did one and it sucked, but I didn't add yeast nutrient. But
you got back.
What happened? What was that, Brush? Steven.
Damn it. Am I not?
It's only, you're fine, Brush. It's only a couple seconds.
Ugh. Yeah, my internet's really annoying. Sometimes it didn't happen last time, thank God, but like this time it's just been it cuts out every couple seconds. Sometimes the cable's wrong in my apartment. Something's going on with the signal level. But I'm saying I like ciders. I've been wanting to make one. I just never got around to it. So
we got information right here from Aliaz Mohammed. Yo, CH, thanks for the Instagram love. Cheers, bro. She's got a good Instagram. He brews beer. He makes beer. That's what me and Steve want to see. We want to see people mashing in. We want to see airlocks going apeshit. Been making a decent number of ciders. Feel free to hit me up. I will hit up Mr. Mohammed. Any Kvike? That was my next question. I was going to say, can you use Kvike? And I mean, you can obviously use it, but what's the results like? US 05 and EC 17. I'm going to write that down right now. Big shout out to Alyaz Mohammed. Cider yeast. This is why I love the chat, man. We got 70 people here right now. Doing NBC here in a second. I'll do another one of those apple cider chats.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna write down Kvike. Any Kvike.
I bet the Kvike would be pretty good with that.
I hope.
I don't know. Like you get a lot of yeast character out of the ciders, I think, because there's not too much to them besides kind of basic apple flavor.
Yep.
You're not putting. I mean, you can put hops in if you want to. But
hops in a cider?
Many people do. Sometimes it happens. There's dry hop ciders out here.
Dry hop ciders.
But
I'll give it a go. No, I want to do it, and
I want to see what you do with it because that'd be really cool. I've never made one, and I want to. But just like I said, never gone through the effort.
We did a stupid video a couple years ago. Me and all the Booze Brothers guys, we were trying to make hard apple cider with the bread yeast that they give you that you could buy at any Albertsons or supermarket, just to see.
That's awesome.
I mean, it worked. We got
like 7. A grocery store beer.
Yeah, and it looks. Yeah. They look like bread yeast. Looks like little Safe Ale packs, Safe Ale 04s and 05s, or any fermentus. And we did it, and it was boozy, but it just had way too many baby turtle fart smell because we did not use yeast nutrient or any other supplement. But I want to do it again. Maybe I could do it with the Brew Show. If he wants to collab, it's always there. Hell Brews. We were talking about him a little bit earlier, and it's 3.5% beer. Dry appled cider. I like it. I mean, we're talking about Kvike. We're not coming. I mean, you could always use Kvike, but I don't really need to use Kvike this time of the year because it's getting colder. Kvike to me was always kind of more of a summertime thing, summertime brew.
Absolutely.
And not have to worry about getting some of those off flavors from high temperature. Steve, we got a homie, Slays 8. What's up, brother? Down from Germany. Steve is out there in New Hampshire. I'm down here in Southern California. So we're all in, I mean, not as far as Germany, but we're all in crazy corners of the world right now, man. Cheers, Braj.
I love it when people come in from different countries. It's cool to see that.
I just think it's cool when it's a different time zone.
What time is it there? I have no idea, but it's got to be like early morning probably, right?
That's awesome, man. You want to hear a funny story? When I was a telemarketer?
Yeah.
So I don't know how we got our leads or whatever, but I used to sell uniforms. It was my first job, I think. Remember the big, what would it be called when the economy crashed in 2009? I guess it would just be a recession from the mortgage crisis when everybody was getting those loans. Anyway, it was my first job after that. It was a salary job. It was sales. It was on the phone. And it was a very tough job. But we'd get our leads in, and it was based off area code. So you just kind of know where the area code is and this and that. But some Hawaii area codes would sneak through. So at 8 a.m, I didn't know, Hawaii's like 3 or 4 hours before us. And, calling a dude at 4:30 in the morning, waking him and his whole family up, and then try to sell him a t-shirt, you're going to get hung up on real fast. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, just a time zone story. So I don't remember what the area code was, 303 or whatever, but it's like, yeah, we got to wait till 2 p.m. our time, or at least afternoon to get a better chance we're going to get their attention. Hey, man, you want to buy some shit? It's like, dude, it's 5 a.m.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah. I got a question, and I don't really know if I know this answer. Sorry, by the way, guys, I'm kind of sick. I'm still kind of sick. Apologize, Steve, if I'm a little bit too congested for you guys.
I want to hear all of your resonant voice come through the internets.
All right. Hopefully it's good enough. I might have to, you might have to hold the chat down here in a second. I'm going to go fire up some hot water for my tea. But Steve, do you have any, again, this is something me, Trent, and Hellbrews were talking about. What's your experience with floating dip tubes?
I use them pretty frequently. Actually, most of my kegs are already set up with them. I have had some bad experiences,
I want to hear about it.
and there's been, I mean, it's only ever been a problem if I use heavy hop bills, and I'm dry hopping hard.
I mean, does it? You're not really doing a side by side, Stevie. There, ground control. Houston, this is the Apollo 13. Jonathan Elliott, they are okay in my book.
All right, is it still stuck?
No, we're good. Okay, can you?
Jeez, Todd's in the chat. You see that?
I have it at low latency too. There's another option for ultra low latency. Maybe I'll click that next time. But
I'm not sure what's going on. I can see myself freezing on the screen there.
You look good right now, Major Tom.
Todd, thank you for the glass. Appreciate it.
Is Todd here?
Mm-hmm.
Is that our Todd Jackson?
Yeah, Todd Jackson.
Todd Jackson, what's up, Brush? How are you, man?
The Brush.
Oh, there he is. What's going on, man? Todd.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Can we get Todd on here? Would Todd want to come on?
We got to get Todd in here.
Maybe tomorrow night we could do a 3-way with Todd. But what's your experience with floating dip tubes? I think that cut out because Jonathan Elliott says hit or miss. You said good, bad experiences. What's going on?
I would agree with that. So I have floating I have floating dip tubes in like 3 of my kegs. Not all of them. So I like them for lagers. I like them for beers that I want to clarify quickly, but I've had hit or miss issues with them because sometimes they don't quite work the way you want them to. Sometimes they sit a little too far off the surface of the wort, and they just like suck in a little bit of beer, and it like gets all super foamy when you try to pour it, and it's really annoying. But there's a couple workarounds that I've had, and like I said, I also had issues with high hop bills. Sometimes the hops just clog them, and it's just a pain in the butt. But a couple of workarounds, you can get stainless steel washers, and you put like 3 or 4 washers on the little ball that floats the dip tube, and it actually lets it sit a little bit further down, and that helps it sit below the surface, and that's actually worked out really well for me lately. Then I also got a bunch of kind of like they're like filters in a way. It's like a mesh kind of thing that sits on the end of your dip tube, and those have been good too for keeping it from getting clogged. So ever since I put those 2 things in, it's actually been pretty good overall. But that being said, I mean, like, over a traditional dip tube, you're not getting that much extra functionality.
Okay.
So it's up to you as to whether you want to use them. I just had them installed, and by now I just don't want to walk it back.
Good feedback. I appreciate that because I'm definitely in the market, not only to make YouTube videos, but just to have beer with more clarity. Do you recommend any brand over another? Because I know there's 2 different styles. There's one that's got the big kind of like the fishing bob look, and then there's one more that's got like a barrel look. It's more of kind of like a drum on its side, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Do you have better experience with certain ones? You said you had what, 3?
I think it depends. I use torpedo kegs because that's what my homebrew store stocked, and that's what I had. So torpedo. There's a specific kind of dip tube that goes with those. So I think they sell them on Kegland. So that's the brand that I've used. I haven't gone with any other brand yet, so I don't want to say specifically good or bad things about one other brand.
Good man.
So I think I know what you're talking about with like the barrel on its side thing. That's the filter thing that I'm talking about. So that sticks at the end of the dip tube, and it gets rid of any particulates and hops and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel. It's an older gentleman out there, and he's kind of just, I don't know, like bitter beer guy or pissed off angry old fuck. I don't know what the name of the channel is. I hope he's not in here. But he goes, I don't know if he goes for blood in his videos, but trying to talk about like, this is a scam or don't do this or why. But he's got a video on it. But he recommends the one with the drum barrel roll on it. Bitter Reality. Okay. Brew Show. Yeah, Bitter Reality.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is.
It's Todd. Okay. It's Todd Jackson's channel. It's it's short circuited
yeah,
side hustle.
So here we recommend any brand except for Northern Brewer.
Todd Jackson. Give him Steve, tell the chat who Todd Jackson is and how cool he is.
Todd is the barrage.
He works at Northern Brewer, and
he's the contact at Northern Brewer. He's the guy who's been doing all the brand relations with the BrewTubers here. So
he knows all.
Good. He's a freaking awesome dude, though. He's very fun guy to talk to.
Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting for an email back from him, though. I'm trying to build a big pulley setup because we got a 20-gallon kettle from Anvil. It is so big. It is so big. Yeah, me and Trent were going to brew with it, the brew show. And I'm looking at this thing, and Trent's just like, no, the bag's not going to fit. I don't even know if it's going to fit on my Anvil burner. It says it will. I need to.
Dude, 20 gallons is ridiculous.
It's huge.
You making a 10-gallon batch out of that, or were you just trying to use it for something else?
I'm going to do full-on Swiss Family Robinson fort. I'm going to have pulleys going up to the attic, and I want to have a big setup going. We're going to start filming our videos at Southo Brewery. It's going to really promote Trevor's brand.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's going to be awesome. And I had a guy hit me up today, and he said, people hit me up on the Facebook page, and they asked, hey, I'm coming to San Diego. What places do you recommend? And I love that. I love writing people back on Facebook and email and YouTube. For some reason, I don't know, Instagram just rubs me the wrong way when people start DMing me because I think they want the question like now. But people hit me up on Facebook, and they're like, hey, where do I go in San Diego? South Brew says it's not open. And I'm like, yeah, because it's not. But that's rad that people are thinking, hey, let's go check out this place already. So we're going to start filming.
He's going to get a lot of business very fast.
I hope so. And because he's such a good dude, and he's going to need it because it's so competitive. And that part of town is very douchebaggy in regards to people are territorial and cutthroat. And like locals only, Lords of Dogtown bullshit. And there'll be another coffee shop or a restaurant or brewery in 6 months that they'll be pissed off about. But I've got some friends who opened up coffee shops or this thing in South O, and they took heat from the neighbors and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's not Hell's Angels or whatever. It's just people that, what are they going to do? Talk shit on the internet? Tell all your friends not to go to this brewery? Right on, man. But I'm looking forward to help, kind of promote that through video content.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Trent got to check it out.
He's got a good, I saw, the second half of your video on the Brew in a Bag had a whole bunch of shots from that, and it looks like a nice spot. It really does.
Yeah. It's an igniter brewer. I don't know if you guys do those out on the East Coast, but do you know what igniter brewery is?
I don't.
It's where a big money guy will come in, and he'll set up a brewery, and they pay for everything. They gut it out. They build the cold box. They set you up with a really nice brew house. It's not going to be a Frankenbrew system. It's not going to be anything but probably the top 3 stainless or top of the line brands. So you need no startup money.
That's amazing.
But the catch is that they charge like 3 times more. So you got to figure out this balance of like, hey, yeah, we want to start a brewery. What would that brewery cost to build? $1 million, $500,000? I do not know. But they're going to do all that for you. But instead of it being $5,000 a month, they're going to charge you 15 or 20. Long story short, you need to hit the ground running with great beer and great everything. Great customer service, great beer, great everything, man. Good head brewer, good managers, good people.
That's risky, it sounds like, but
that's a
hell of a deal, though.
Yeah, you got to kind of weigh it out, And then I don't know what the end game is. I don't know if you're like, hey, at some point, like I'm not just going to pay this $20,000 a month forever, but maybe I'll build this brand. I'll get my customers. We'll get some loyal customers. They'll understand the beer, the recipe of the brand, our vibe. Now we can really start our own, and then we can just carry everybody over, and we have the capital now that we can start a brewery with our own money. I think that's the game plan.
Okay.
But I mean,
it helps not being at least $1 million in debt. That's definitely a big positive.
Good point. I think worst case scenario, you're probably in like to a 1 to 3 year lease or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
It's all good.
That's
Todd
it's bold
Jackson.
to start a brewery. No matter where you are, it's that's a hell of an undertaking, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for him for doing that.
Yeah,
That is a difficult thing to do.
it is. So I'm going to do everything in my Homebrew for Life power to give him as much exposure as possible. And I think Trent should film some videos there as well. Todd,
Yeah, if he's got like t-shirts or merch or something, let me know. I'll get some.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Rep it over here too.
That'd be super cool, man. And Todd Jackson, I just dropped the ball on CH's pulley system. It's all good, man. Better work for real. Tonight we're going to pre-order VIP tables for South O. Wiley, man. Keep South O on your radar. Gnome Brewing. What do we learn? When do we learn how to build a brewery in Minecraft? My inner child must know. I don't know. I just write this shit without even thinking about it. How to be a barrage in Minecraft. Hell Bruce, message retracted. I don't know, man. He's doing that X-rated stuff again. Sounds like a barrage tap takeover.
I saw, wow, it's like cartel brewing from him.
What happened?
I saw, wow, it's like cartel brewing.
Oh, from Hell Bruce. That's actually a pretty cool name for a brewery. Cartel Bruco. Wouldn't fly in Mexico or America, let alone California. Seamus McMasters, what's up, man? Welcome back. It's been a couple two blue moons. Hellbrews, you got me. Solid feedback on that. I don't think I'm gonna get a floating dip tube or make a video on it. I don't, unless it's like 100%. It's gonna make your beer clear and it's just gonna pour perfectly every time. Other than that, I don't know if it's going to be
you use any sort of findings on the cold side?
Do I use what?
Do you use cold side findings? Because if you do, like gelatin or biofine or something like that.
Yeah, I use gelatin for
so if you do that, you don't need that dip tube. It's going to take maybe 2 or 3 days off of your finding process if you already use cold side findings. That's what happens.
You had it here, people.
So I don't know if it's really something you want it.
Duly noted. And that's the answer. If you're already using gelatin or biofine, it's dead weight. Steve, you there?
Yep.
All right. Right on, man. Well, I got a couple more questions and we can just hang out and barrage out. Quick question. Do you Steve, you're not going anywhere, man. We're going to pull a 24-hour stream and you're just going to go straight to work from the stream, Braj. I got a question.
That's how I did it last time.
How was that hangover?
That's not great.
You're 10 years younger than me, man. Wait till you get to my age and you would have called in sick that day. Or maybe you wouldn't.
Don't say that. That hurts. Ugh.
You'll get there, man.
Hip tube full of spitters.
I got a question about Ninkasi, because people are not seeing it as much on the West Coast. Do you see that at all where you're at?
Sounds familiar, but
it's got like a turquoise logo.
Yeah, I don't know.
No? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they I don't know. I mean, I don't think they sold out. I don't know. What do you think happens when big beers just aren't as big as they are for whatever reason? Do you think it's ultimately just too much competition? People just supporting local? Yeah, it's West Coast. It's Oregon.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. I mean, each region has its own specific amount of super hot beer that they particularly love and have loyalty to. So,
yeah, I don't know. That was one of like when I first was paying attention to the craft beer stuff, it was all about, obviously everybody knew Stone and Sculp, but the big players in San Diego were Modern Times and Mike Hess, and I think Ninkasi had a satellite tasting room or production down here, but I knew that they were originally from Oregon, but they used to be huge, and for whatever reason, I just don't know. I mean, do you guys get Alpine beer out there, Steve?
I haven't seen it. If we do,
do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know like the Duet or the Nelson or?
I don't, man. I don't. Yeah, it's amazing. Kind of some of the stuff you talk about. I some of the names that I know, and some of them I don't.
Seen them in an airport.
Granted, I'm not somebody who goes to the craft beer store all that frequently. Since I do, I don't know, it's a home brewers thing, but I kind of wish we got more distribution for the West Coast, to be honest. But I guarantee you haven't heard of some of the stuff that we have out here.
You know what? I
So,
didn't even know about the Heady
is
Topper.
that
And
another cider vinegar shot?
yeah, man, I got to get better. I've been sick for 6 days. I haven't smoked a
Man,
cigarette in a month, and I'm 6 days sober, and I get sick like a dog. I haven't been sick like
maybe
this in
that's
10
why
years.
you're sick.
You might be onto something. Chug a beer and then just go run a 6 minute mile back to normal. Break all my
Yeah, it's not happening.
PRs right now. They sent a beer into
You're lucky
space.
to run a 6 minute mile no matter what's going on in my life.
Yeah, that's my holy grail is a sub 4 hour marathon and then 6 minute mile. Sub
That's
6 minute
insane.
mile, 6 minute
That's
mile.
insane.
Really quick, I'm going to give a shout out to Jonathan Elliott. He's got a brewery in the mix too. And if he ever opens that up, I told him I'd give him my word. I'd go up there and we'll make a video for him. And hopefully,
That's awesome.
yeah, hopefully we can put their brewery onto not on the map, but if they get one customer in there, just one, that video was worth it. Jack Martino, Steve, what's your background? Have you worked at a brewery before? Should I snort
No,
this?
I am a home brewer. I have never worked at a brewery. Would love to though. Actually, if I ever had more time available, which I don't, I would love to do that. I would love to get some professional time and actually just like scoop grain and get to know the industry a bit better. So, yeah, that's a thing I'd love to do, but that's just not something I've ever done. I just started home brewing like 5 years ago, I guess, 2016. So ever since then, years after I started, and yeah, that's what it is.
You're talking
My
about,
whole family brews them.
yeah, I remember that from our podcast. Rest in peace, the Barragecast.
Yeah.
Oh, I just took another shot of that, man. If I don't feel
Dude, do
better,
you
in
feel
the morning-
alive yet?
No, I never have. Not even that one time. When you're talking about opening up a brewery, are you talking about it like me? Like that's like what I want to do when I retire, if I make it to that chapter in my life. But are you talking about giving up the 9 to 5, gambling with giving up with what you have now to pursue opening up a brewery or working at a brewery?
I mean, for me, I would love to work at a brewery. I don't think I'd ever want to own a brewery, if that
Well,
makes sense.
It does make sense, but why?
The financial risk, the volatility of the industry, it's a lot. I love beer and I have a real passion for making it and tasting it and all of that stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever want to be responsible for the business piece of it. And I don't think I'm very business savvy. So that'd be kind of the whole reason why I would definitely give up my 9 to 5 if I was financially stable in any other way. But it's a trade-off.
What if you had an investor though,
No.
where it was pretty much just he got equity if it's successful, and he loses the money if it's a flop. If it's not your money, does it give you more motivation?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'd want to try and dip my toe in it first, to see if it changes anything once you do it every single day. And, I have no problem pulling 18, 20-hour days, but when it comes
18,
to
20-hour days.
when it comes to like actually doing
Wow.
the thing that I currently have a passion for and currently do for fun as a full-time job, would that kill it? And that's what I'm afraid of, I think, is killing the thing that I enjoy and turning it into a job. And I think a lot of people say that happens. But you never know until you try. So
No, I think you're onto
I
something.
don't know. If an opportunity was dropped in my lap, then maybe. But I don't have the brewing prowess for it, to actually set up a real thing. Yeah, that's something that requires more experience than I have. And at the end of the day, I'd love to try it out, but it's a little risky at the moment. So that's my take on it.
And I think you're exactly right. There's not too many people that are commercial brewers and then they go home and they're like, hey, let's do a 5-gallon batch on our weekend. It's
It's
like,
just not even Genus, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it straight from his mouth.
And it's different when Maury comes over because he just shows up and I have everything going, and he thinks it's super cool because it's nostalgic for him because he used to be a home brewer and work at a homebrew shop for like 5 or 6 years. But if you're like, hey, I'm gonna get everything together and I'm gonna set all this stuff up and I'm gonna give up a Saturday, there's no way in hell you're gonna do it. But if like, hey, people are drinking beer over at CH's Garage, I could show up and it's like, whoa, cool, homebrewing, yeah, I could say some lines in front of camera, and that's how it started. That's how Maury got kind of involved with Homebrew for Life. It was just like, yeah, he doesn't care looking like an idiot on the internet like me. And those people are actually tough to find, man. People that want to be on the internet and that are comfortable are very tough to find. And I do have a lot of people on camera and stuff, but it doesn't flow as good as Maury, and people get sweaty and people need breaks, and
he's very chill.
Yeah, and I've got to edit it out later, or I'll just delete it right then and there. But that was kind of how it started with Maury.
All right, I'm gonna grab a beer real quick.
You do it.
Give me like 2 seconds. It's right here. So.
Chris Vodka, what's up, man? Chris, I'm going to call you maybe tomorrow. I got to get your phone number via email. Anybody needs graphic design work, check out Chris Vodka and or Jules Game Art. He's not in here. Sam Adams, OG, man.
I actually really like their Oktoberfest.
I'm drinking I want to do has anyone ever done a root beer or sarsaparilla beer? But I'm trying to do...
That's a great idea.
It does. And I'm doing some R&D department stuff right now. I'm trying to figure out who's got the best root beer. And then I'm going to call 911 to figure out how I can get the recipe and shit. But this is genuine Hank's Gourmet Philadelphia recipe root beer. It's just $3 from the supermarket, which means it's probably like $6 somewhere else.
Nice.
It's great. Root beer is so damn good.
It's actually, yes, it's actually my favorite kind of soda in general.
This one, Genuine Hanks, or just root beer?
No, just root beer in general.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple. There's a brewery in Maine, Shipyard Brewing Company. I don't know if they send stuff out your way, but they do cane sugar sodas inside.
Yeah, I know Shipyard, or I've heard of Shipyard.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So
now, now I'll definitely give it a go. That's why I love the chat. Now, because someone vouched for it, now I'm going to buy it. I'm looking at 1,000 things. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at.
Yeah, Shipyard makes pretty good beer overall. That's okay. That's cool. That's an East Coast brewery that gets all the way out there. It's still a pretty good craft brewery. So nice.
Yeah. I want to do
we have a pretty famous pumpkin beer called Pumpkinhead. That's kind of like a sensation on the East Coast. But not my favorite kind of beer. I don't really do pumpkin beers. But it's not the worst pumpkin beer out there at all.
Trent's got a good pumpkin beer. I had his pumpkin beer. It was good. The key to a pumpkin beer is, I think Trent nailed it. You have to be subtle in
yes,
the cinnamon and whatever else is in it, because if not, it could be brutal and take over.
Yeah.
Hey, check it out. We got Party Time Brewing in the house.
This is crazy. Woo. All right.
Do you watch Party Time Brewing?
Yeah, I just saw his last video.
He's got a great channel.
3-day hazy or something like that. It was awesome.
He eats grains like me. He's like a little field mouse, man. I just sit in the garage and just eat grain when I'm too lazy to make dinner.
Back off, war child. Seriously.
Gnome Brewing, Shipyard. We definitely have Shipyard out here. Theron, what's up, Raj? My Cool Borders 3 brunch in the house. Zima Soda from Durango, Colorado. I don't know if that's a joke or not, but it sounds like a joke. Zachary Pyle, I'm from Maine. Oxbow is right up the street from Shipyard.
Yeah. Wow. Nice.
I got to come out to you guys.
I used to live in Maine.
Neck of the woods, eat some lobster.
I actually went to high school there.
Right on, Brush. Steve, I'm going to pull you in this way. Don't move at all. I have the power.
Come on.
Stay right there. Don't.
I'm not moving.
Don't move. There we go. There we go. All right, got you, Brush. What was the name of the last one? Oxbow?
Oxbow.
What are they known for? Root beer? We there?
You're ripping ass.
No, I'm blowing my nose. I'm sick as a dog. This apple cider shit's making me worse.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
What up, Ben? 5864. Jenny, 309. Wiley, no pumpkin, just the seasonings.
All right. I'm going to step out for a second here.
Drain
so
the main
I'll be
vein, you
back in a
brunch.
minute.
Yeast and the beast. The key to pumpkin beer is don't add pumpkin. All right. That's some serious wisdom. They're aged pale, if I remember correctly. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to drink Shipyard. Soon as I get off this stream, I'm going to go straight to my local Mexican food place and just start chugging pitchers of margaritas and just totally cave. I'm kidding. I might have, though, if I wasn't sick. But I apologize for being sick, because I know I can hear my nose and myself sound like shit. So that means you guys can hear it. Farmhouse Pale Ale. No. Zacharie Pyle. NBC. Just say it. We could rip an NBC. 77 Trans Am guys. Sounds like CH has a good selection. When I lived in Slow County, it was flooded with Firestone Walker. Yeah. And that's the 805. 805 beer is way too popular for what it is. But at the end of the day, if I have a problem with it, it's my problem. Those guys forged ahead. And the key to anything successful is timing. And they were around at the perfect timing for that. Firestone Walker. I do love their tri-tip, though. They've got some badass barbecue. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'll mute my thing right here.
All right.
Are we back from the dead?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do an NBC, and I'm going to do another shot of apple cider vinegar.
Let's go.
Is this really work? Does anybody know anything about apple cider vinegar doing something? It's just Paul. Super chat. What's up, Braj? They say peanut butter whiskey in the Yingling Hershey Porter tastes just like Reese's peanut butter cup. That sounds delicious. It's just Paul. Thank you for that. And not only does that sound delicious, that might be a Homebrew for Life video. How would you do it? How would I do it?
I gotta try that. I gotta see if I can find it.
You're talking about the peanut butter whiskey or the
Yingling? Yeah.
The Yingling. Where did he say
Yingling,
it was from?
Peanut butter porter.
So,
Yingling? Dude, it's easy to find out here.
Right. Hershey chocolate porter from Yingling, recommended by Richard Ninu. Usually people who drink it like it daily, though. Daniel, wisdom, if we're talking about the same thing still. Probiotics. All right, Brew Show, this one's for you. I'm going to throw up.
That's
Todd Jackson, Braj, mix that ACV and some water. Kind of tastes like some kombucha. All right, hold it down.
There we go.
Steve, I'll be right back. I'm going to go drink
All
a
right.
pitcher of margaritas. Right back.
Let's see. What did I miss here? Apple cider vinegar. It tastes like kombucha. Nice. Yeah, I don't know why he's doing that because it's not my choice. I just stick with the regular apple cider. Yeah. What else we got here? Keto
I'm
pumpkin
back. Great work,
beers.
Steve.
Don't add pumpkin. Yeah, that's 100% true.
Is Todd coming on the stream?
Elementary,
tomorrow night?
what's going on?
Elementary in the house.
I didn't see you earlier. I don't know if you've probably been here for a while.
Came into the back door.
Yeah, what's going on?
All right.
Yeah, I do get Yingling. It's pretty easy to find on the East Coast. What other hobbies do I have? I like photography. Play a lot of music.
Thank you
various
for your
instruments.
Thank you for your service, Steve.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
He's in the. He's in the.
I'm doing
He's in the army.
that marathon length ruck march this weekend, by the way. So I'll be doing the the Boston Marathon's happening on Monday, and we're doing a tough ruck, so 26.2 miles with a rucksack, and it's gonna suck.
It is going to suck. But I'm proud of you, Steve. I'm proud of you, Braj.
It's a walk, but it's still 26 miles.
I'm proud of you, Braj.
Hopefully I can complete it. So
I got a Tough Mudder coming up, too.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's in Big Bear on the 17th, but it's kind of. I'm going to try to do sober October up until that, and then after that, I'll go back to my old ways.
Brent.
Yeah.
I am a trombone man. There it is.
Wood wins. No. Elementary. We'll do a mandatory beer chug. I'll slam
I feel
this.
like it's overdue.
I think you're right. Should we rip one?
Let's do it.
All right. Should we do a big one or a small one?
I don't know. How's that?
All right.
Just do whatever one feels good.
Here's my apple cider kombucha, and big shout out to Todd Jackson. He's exactly right. This tastes more like kombucha than a concentrated shot of vinegar. All right, here we go. To the blood of our enemies, to simpler times.
I know what we have to do.
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What?
Just say it.
M. Say it.
B.
No.
Say when.
C.
I got till there, but Steve crushed his. You know what? This would probably be the best chaser of all time.
Can they not hear us over the NBC?
I think they should be able to hear us. Takes a second for the chat to come in. Hector Chopatti, what's up, man? Mandatory vinegar shot. Yeah, they're back. Give it up for the guy trying to be sober and still gave us an NBC. Epic fail, man. Hey, is Todd coming on tomorrow night? I don't want to have my sister on. I don't want to have my sister on. She's a drunk idiot.
I was never in a ska band. I almost joined one in college, though. I thought that would have been a good time. I played trombone in jazz band. I was a bass trombonist, and I did classical trombone as well. That is not a bass trombone. That's a regular tenor open wrap trombone. Still play it, though, every so often. God, that's a lot of carbonation.
Later, Darren. Darren Blackwood's out of here, man. Have a good night. He's got some painkillers.
Good night.
He sounds more jacked up than me. Take care of yourself, Darren. Thanks for being here, you braj.
Right. I'm good for one more beer.
You're doing 2 more beers. You're not going anywhere.
All right. Well, I did want to point this out, by the way. We were talking about like styles of beer that hadn't happened in a while or like weren't popular. Guess what I found? I found a American mild ale.
What is that?
I literally never seen a mild ever.
British mild?
So, yeah, it's like a British mild, but made with, I'm guessing, American hops or an American beer. They don't say, or American malts. They don't say too much about it, but it's pretty good.
All right, Braj. Hey,
Dark mild.
this might be a good question. Where are you going, Steve? What happened to you?
Oh, I can still hear you. I got my headphones on.
Hey, have you ever done one of those hop water things?
No, I have not.
I think I'm going to try to give it a go for Sober October. I don't know. I got hops I'm probably never going to use. They've been sitting in my freezer forever. I'm going to try to burn up one of those hop water things and maybe try to like mix it with, give it like a LaCroix vibe, maybe? No?
See what happens.
Yeah, I guess there's only one way to get burned by the fires to touch it. Andrew Helms, he's got to drain the main vein. That's exactly right. Gnome Brewing, 1 more, 5 more. What happened to Todd Jackson? Is he coming in tomorrow?
He's probably still here.
Who's holding it
Yeah,
down?
let's get him on.
Who have we? Beast was on last Thursday. Trent was on last Wednesday. Hellbrews was on. Gnome, where's the gnome? Party time.
He's around. Yeah.
Party time. I know he's in Canada. I do not know what time zone, though. Elementary Brian, Visalia, he's in my time zone.
You guys need to collab.
I have to walk my fish tomorrow after we do Oktoberfest at Northern Beers headquarters in the afternoon, but we can chat about it another time. Sounds good, Todd Jackson, man. And really quick, big shout out to Northern Brewer again and Anvil, Matt, if they're in here right now. There's a not too many brands we can work with, and we have a good relationship with both you guys, man. So that's awesome.
Todd, do you know Chip Walton and Mike Dawson? Because those are the people who literally taught me how to homebrew. Their original YouTube videos back from like 2010
Basic
are
brewing?
the things that so like Northern Brewer and
Brew Cabin.
Brewing TV. Those are the things that taught me how to brew and like got me excited about it. And I know they're still kicking around. I know they do things. I don't know where they are right now, but
Don
I know Chip
Osborne.
does his Chop and Brew channel a little bit, but that was what got me into homebrewing.
Oh yeah,
And
I know Chip.
especially Michael Dawson, like his, I don't know why I could learn from him really well.
Willy, dilly dilly.
And yeah, that's the beer talking.
Cut him off. No, man.
Yeah.
We're not leaving here tonight until we're both wearing coconut bras. And I'm going to be sober, so it's going to be really weird, man.
Dawson's still in the business. All right.
Yeah, I know Chip. There's a lot of
He taught me
history.
how to decoction mash.
What happened?
I said he taught me how to decoction mash through that one video.
I would love to have Chip on.
And Jake, yes. Jake, yeah.
Jake Keeler.
Yeah.
Dawson's
It'd be so
Creek,
cool
man.
to have them on this show. That'd be really cool.
I'll try to get him on tomorrow. The only people that I've reached out to that haven't got back to me, the Craft Beer Channel, the English guys, the game show hosts, and then Brewlosophy. We went back and forth for a little bit, but I'll hit him up again.
Wow.
That'd be very cool to see Brewlosophy on here.
Yeah, Marshall.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Marshall. He's been doing this
Yeah.
before probably anybody. You know, I'm not talking about brew tubers, but just putting out a website or a vlog or a podcast but not even vlog. Back in the day, we used to call it blog when you're blogging on the internet. But
Yeah.
he's probably been doing this for 10 or 15 years. Marshall.
A lot
I'm
of stuff I
talking about.
learned from Brewlosophy too. You know,
Yeah.
things
and-
that I worried about in the past, but I don't worry about anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of what
Yeah.
turned me on to him. It was that pretty much the homebrew for life way. It's like just do it faster, quicker, hackier, save money, and we both have that same kind of vibe for the most part. Not exactly what you said. Kind of just not debunking old ways, but just like validating maybe some old myths or
Yeah.
double checking them with today's recipes and equipment and stuff like that.
I like that he kind of gives you, like, I guess, more of a validation that you're going to make good beer regardless of how much you take shortcuts in various places. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
You know, the quick lager method that he does is how I learned to brew lagers, and it's like, you know, a couple of weeks.
You're talking about under pressure, or was there something before that?
No, so, you know, it's actually a traditional lager fermentation with like 150 degrees, but he starts it pitching warm and then goes down to the 50-degree mark for a couple days, like 7 days, I think, 7 or 8 days, and then raises up to diacetyl rest right away, and then about 50% through attenuation, the diacetyl rest happens. You finish out your beer within probably less than 2 weeks, keg it, hit it with gelatin finings to accelerate the clarification process, and then you're done.
Okay.
And that's kind of how I learned to do it when I started brewing. And it works out pretty well pretty much every time. It's much faster than sitting there waiting for your beer to fully clarify on the cold side.
Wow.
I like it. I like it a lot. I've learned a couple of things, not directly that, but kind of offshoots of stuff like that. Do you talk to Marshall, Steve? Have you ever talked to him?
No, I haven't.
Nothing. Do you? I mean, it's kind of a trip because he doesn't have a YouTube channel. What's his deal? Does he just go off
I have a
sponsor?
podcast at YouTube, though.
So it's sponsors. I know he has a new YouTube channel. I was checking that out. He's got to work on his thumbnails. But is he a Patreon guy, or is it a sponsorship, or is it just a
I
hobby?
know they
or-
have. They have the website, and then I think they have a Patreon.
I think they do have a
associated with
Patreon.
it. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at it or anything. But it's he's got a lot of stuff going on. I know that much.
Yeah.
Big name in the beer world for sure, and it would be very cool to have him on.
It would, and he's the most OG guy I think that I know of, or him, or probably Craig too. Because I remember when I was dabbling with home brewing, I feel like the only videos that showed up were Craig Tube, and I don't remember anybody. I don't remember Short Circuited. maybe Larry. Larry's been doing this for a long time.
Yes, yeah.
Larry's been doing this for a very long time. Larry's the man.
Brew Show, yeah, that's right. He has other contributors to Brewlosophy as well. It's not just him. It's not just Marshall.
Yeah, he's got a couple guys. And with that, I'm trying to get. I should reach out to. I want to reach out to Ross from Clawhammer Supply.
Yes, dude. I feel like he would be so interesting.
Bam Margera, dude. Bam Margera Part 2. And
dude,
then
I want to see him on here.
Or Emmett. I still haven't had Sarah Flora on this. We've done the the podcast. Okay. I had her on, and that'd be cool to get her on. I know. Yeah. I think she's probably doing YouTube full time because she puts out a lot of content. Like I feel like
she's trying to open up an actual brewery.
I think you're right.
I think YouTube is kind of like how she's funding that, which is awesome.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mistakes can be forgiven in beer, but consistency is difficult. That is some good wisdom to the point where Bevmo should. Shit. Here's my dad. I played golf with my dad today, Paul Hardy. It was the worst day of golf of my life, but I still get to hang out with my dad. And I got 3 pars on the back 9.
Oof.
But Dad, I want to play it again. Emerald Isle in Oceanside.
Better than me.
What's up?
You said you're better than me.
I just wasn't correcting my mistakes. I was just kind of doing the same thing over and over. But in golf, less is more for me. If I try to hit the shit out of the ball, I top it. But if I get closer to the ball, I don't hit it as hard, but I'm way more accurate. And I didn't start doing that until the back 9. But still a good day.
I feel like accuracy is more important than distance.
Hanging out with my dad. My dad's like, "You doing your show tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Are you going to do it sober?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay." Pops, it's root beer. Filled with Mad Dog 2020 and Bacardi 151, but it still says root beer on the label. Patriots in Survivor. Yeah, I got my ass kicked in Survivor last week. I took the who did I fucking take? I took the Saints, man. Saints got beat by the Giants. Saints got beat by the Giants.
I stayed up late watching the Pats game. That was painful.
They won. No, they didn't.
No, they lost. I'm talking about the
Buccaneers.
And the Pats. When Brady came back. Yeah,
they lost.
No, that was painful.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, what?
I lost all respect for Tom Brady once he left New England, and I know that's not the opinion of everyone, but that's mine. So
I was at Las Olas the other night, and I just go in there by myself and watch football. It's a little Mexican food restaurant, and the girl behind the counter, I think she was 24, 25. She was like, "Yeah, I'm from New England. I've been out here for a little bit," and she wasn't pissed that Tom Brady was on the Buccaneers when we were talking about this game, but she was so sad. She was like, Tom Brady's been the only quarterback I've known my entire life.
Since 2001.
20 years.
Yeah. And then he was just like, peace. And then came back to beat New England. So he's now officially beaten every NFL team.
Right.
And it was rough because Mac Jones did a great job. And Mac Jones,
I heard that,
actually really was very resilient in the face of Tom Brady. And only lost by a little bit, so he actually played a very good game.
Could have gone either way.
Yeah, but it sucked to see him lose.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like. You know, there's been a few times I think it's really happened to the point of that, and I think the only other thing I could probably compare that to is Brett Favre going to the Vikings, which is probably even worse because it's the same division.
Ooh, yeah.
So you got to see him twice. But obviously here's what happens. I think that anytime you're a quarterback, whatever, 30, 35 years old, and however much success you have, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, as soon as your team, your GM and your head coach draft a quarterback in the first round, I don't think it's any other round. I don't think anybody cares. If it's a second to sixth round, I don't think they care. But as soon as you draft a quarterback in the first round, there's that passive aggressive animosity that's going to go on.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's a loyalty thing too with your fan base.
Yeah.
And when you leave, people are just like, let's go.
Yeah, and from a coach's standpoint, I understand both thought process. Tom Brady's Brett Favre is like, I've got concussions. I've broken my back. I've been through surgery. I brought this team championships. I've made this team more money than any other person could have made. But from a business standpoint, it's like, hey, this guy's getting old. You know, racehorses don't race forever. Like sooner or later, there's going to be a young buck. And that's where there's just the, you know.
He's talking about retiring too.
Eternally. I heard he was going to play till he was 74. No, but he did say he wanted to play till he was 50. I don't know if that was.
No, that's not going to happen.
You don't think so?
He's way too old. No, he's not going to last that much longer.
Yeah, but
he's going to get out soon.
He can't hit the quarterback
if he just
anymore.
retired when he left New England, we'd be fine. We'd all be fine.
But he did
We'd
the
still
craziest
respect him.
thing of all time. He went to another shitty team and he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they're also already like, yeah.
Do you know the Maury Super Bowl story behind that? Winning his Super Bowl bet?
The Maury Super Bowl story? No, tell me.
So before Tom Brady was picked up by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I either had Jameis Winston or they just released Jameis Winston. And they, as far as the Super Bowl odds were predicted, because you could bet on who's going to win the Super Bowl year round. And at that time, they didn't have a quarterback. So Maury was in Vegas, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were 500 to 1 odds. And he bet $1 like an idiot. He bet $1, like at least bet $5, at least bet $10, $1. A couple days later, big news. Tom Brady goes to the Patriots. It's like, what the fuck, man? So Maury wins the Super Bowl. He's got this $500 value, or Maury wins the $500 bet on the Super Bowl, but he's got to go to Vegas to cash this thing in. It's like, dude, it's not even worth going to Vegas for $500, man. Like, you dumbass, put $5 on it next time. But yeah, he won. He picked the Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl when they were 500 to 1 odds.
That's insane.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I bet he's kicking himself right now.
Yeah, it's like something from a movie with
Jeez.
I don't know, Vincent Papagiorgio and Chevy Chase, Vegas Vacation or something. What's going on over here? Steve, we're doing a couple more beers. Is that cool with you? Even though it's 2 hours your time? 2 hours ahead your time?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Let's keep going. What do I got?
No, I know how this works.
I got ginger beer.
Weird being the only one drinking on the happy hour.
Is anybody drinking tonight? Is everyone doing Sober October? Fentaman's ginger beer.
You're a stronger man than I.
No, I'm not. I just try to do Sober October every year just to test my willpower, man. Just to test my self-control and just see what happens. Plus, I am sick, so it makes quitting or stopping.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
I know a lot of people, my friends who quit smoking cigarettes, they just waited until they were sick, and they were like, yeah, I just went 3 days without it. Let's just keep this going, and they'll quit smoking cigarettes. And now they're all addicted to heroin.
It's always nice to know that you can stop when you want to, and it doesn't kill you.
My biggest addiction I've ever had with anything in my entire life wasn't nicotine, wasn't alcohol, wasn't drugs, wasn't pills. It was my cell phone. When I have the smartphone, I just stare at it. I just stare at it. And I got to the point where I would try to go to bed and I'd put it up on the refrigerator, or I'd go out into my garage and I'd throw it up on the surfboards or the boogie boards up there in the attic. And I would still sometimes go back in there in the middle of the night and just look at it. And it would just drive me crazy. I was like, I got to get rid of this thing.
That's a real thing. Yeah.
It's a real thing. It is a real thing. So I don't know. I've had a flip phone now for a couple months, and like, I'm never going back, man. I'm playing more video games. I'm doing more drugs. No, I'm going out. I'm spending more money at the bar. But no, man, I'm reading books, and when I go to bed and I put a movie on, I actually watch the movie. I'm not just Googling shit and how old is this guy. But yeah, I don't know.
Were you affected by the Facebook, Instagram blackout type thing that happened a couple days ago? Yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the best.
Because nobody had.
I actually stopped looking at Facebook because I knew it was down for the day.
Everyone's on Twitter for that day. Twitter's traffic is just through the roof.
I got so much crap done, dude.
They're getting all their investors back. Twitter's just.
Also, I am happy that somebody finally stuck it to Facebook.
What happened?
Because have you been following the story at all? The Whistleblower.
I just watched The Social Network. That was a great movie. But no, what's going on with Facebook?
No, they somebody basically just published a bunch of proprietary documents from Facebook. Basically, it said that they, long story short, basically profited from sowing division, and
division?
making politics and
Got it.
causing discourse, everything from anything that you could create a conflict from, basically, Facebook would benefit from.
That's all media, though. How is that different? Everybody.
As soon as that got published, they went down for the day, and yeah, who knows what happened behind the scenes, but it was nice to not have Facebook around for a little bit because it kind of lets you unplug. It lets you focus on what really matters in life, and that's always a good thing.
I'll look into that. I don't know why Facebook would take.
Yeah, you should read that story.
I will.
The person's already shown their face and given their name and everything. Like, that's bold. I would not be doing that.
But that's weird because that's all media. Like the way I look at any media, aside from local high school stuff, talking about prep pigskin reports, all media in my eyes is just exploiting tragedy for your own financial benefit. I mean, that's what it is.
It's actually refreshing to see somebody finally hold businesses that large to standard, and actually not let them get away with whatever they want. And it's nice to see that.
I'll look at it. It's funny because I literally just watched that Social Network movie a few nights ago. You know what?
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg is a fucking psychopath.
He is a psychopath. And I forgot about that movie is that he was making a blog before the vlog days. He was blogging about girls who would break his heart, and he'd talk about their last names and make fun of their bra size and then put them on the internet. And then he created that, before Facebook, he created that website called like Face Smash or Face Mashup, where it would take all the girls' faces from Harvard and it would put them side by side. And the guys would sit there, two girls, and they'd say pretty much who is hotter. And then the girls would go on the computer like, what the hell? Like, why is my...
Sounds like Tinder.
Why is my picture... Yeah, but the thing about Tinder and the thing about Facebook is that we take all of our information and put it on the internet. Like, we let everybody know, here's a picture of me right now. Here's my hobbies. Here's where I work. Here we take all of our information and we put it on the internet. Kind of like a dating website. But the first website that he did, he was taking it from like the database from Harvard. So people were like, what the hell? That's like my picture from my student ID. Now it's on.
Yeah, so they started stealing information way back when.
And he got a 6-month academic probation thing from
violating privacy laws way before it even started.
But they didn't know how to deal with it then. They didn't understand like the cyber police world. Like, oh, hey, we just found a hacker. This is on us.
It's left the chat.
This is on us. Northern Brewer has left the chat. Yeah, Northern Brewer is no longer working with BrewTubers. But yeah, I think that they were kind of embarrassed by it. That hey, like one of our students could hack into our thing and it gets 5,000 clicks a night. And I think that they were kind of like, well, if we kick him out of school or do something bad to him, he's going to come back and sue and being like, hey, like you guys had a chink in your armor. Like anybody could have done that. Like what are the federal laws against hacking? What defines hacking? If you leave your space mailbox open at night, like what happens if I just go in and take your mail? I don't know. That was a goofball metaphor, but
I got you.
Yeah. Hold it down. I got to use the restroom.
Yeah, you got it.
Be right back.
All right, hit me up. What you got for questions? Yeah. It was kind of nice. Like, I don't know. I'm somebody who likes to unplug from social media as much as I can. I don't post to Facebook. I literally just hold Facebook down so that I can keep track of my close friends and see what's going on in their lives. But that's about it. It's kind of a mess otherwise. I just don't engage for the most part. A lot of people think I'm dead, which is actually kind of convenient. Otherwise, I don't really deal with it. It's nice to unplug. You get yourself away from it, and makes life a lot better.
Steve, you know what was funny? Excuse me.
That was fast.
Yeah, it was the bathroom's right here. You know what was funny about that movie is that everything worked for him. Remember the scene where his buddy comes in and he's falling asleep in class? Because I don't know if this was true or not, but he's pretty much the smartest kid in all of his classes at Harvard. 1,600 SAT score.
Yeah.
But his friend comes up to him. He's like, "Hey, what's up with that girl? Do you know if she's single or not?" And he's like, "I don't know, man. Get out of my face. I don't. How am I supposed to know?" And he like thinks about it. He's like, and he just runs out of his room and takes off. And next thing you know is like that was the thing. He's like, put it on your Facebook profile. Are you single? Are you in a relationship? And that's gonna like keep people even more addicted to Facebook. They're like, is she single? Is she dating that guy? And when I was in college, like 19 or 20, that was a big deal. People would be like, "Hey, are you FBO? Are you Facebook official?" Because it's like, that's like the college marriage. You know, like, hey man, like
it's the same thing. It's still a thing. Yeah.
It's still a thing. People are like, "Hey man, like how come you didn't accept like my girlfriend request?" Which is the most crazy thing to think about. But perception is reality. When you're staring at it all day, it's like, "Hey, like we're boyfriend and girlfriend. How come you won't accept me as your girlfriend on Facebook?" So it says it in the title. We're fucking stupid. We're the dumbest species alive.
TikTok is the next thing. TikTok is the next thing. There's like I feel like every other news story I hear about is like teenagers are following this TikTok trend, and it's like steal shit from your bathroom or grab your teacher's ass or whatever. Like,
that's why we're all sticking with beer, because beer keeps people together.
It's so dumb. Yeah, social. Yeah.
Did you unfriend me on Facebook, bro? Did you unfriend me? Did you unfriend me on MySpace? I remember a dude was super bummed at me that I took him off my MySpace top 8. He just like ran to his computer and like took me off really fast. I was like, all right, man. That's what we're working about these days. Todd Jackson is back. MySpace top 8.
He's still here.
MySpace top 8 IPA. You know who won? You know who
Todd's MySpace history.
You know who the man is? I might make another video out of this because the dude fell off the map like Kaiser Soze. You might not have been around for MySpace, but Tom from MySpace was the man. He came in. It was MySpace. It was Friendster. Facebook wasn't around yet. And he made his billions, zillions and trillions of Silicon Valley money, and he got out. That was it. He's not sticking around. He's not telling us who to vote for or like trying to get all political. He's not on panels. He's probably playing golf every day and might not even have a flip phone. Might just have carrier pigeon. He's the man. If he even exists, it might be a front. It might be Kaiser Soze.
I caught the tail end of MySpace. So I didn't get it in its full glory, but
shout out to Tom from MySpace.
I stayed off social media for a long time. Actually, I actually didn't get into it until I was in high school.
The thing about social media, it's good. It's good if you're looking for work, or if you're looking for a significant other. But once you have those two things, it's just going to be distractions or temptations.
It's an absolute mess. It's a freaking shit show right now. So. I feel like social media has gotten way more political over the last 4 or 5 years than it ever has been before.
I would just say 1 year.
That's made it less enticing for me to actually do anything with it. I'm a very apolitical person in general, and when it comes to
I just vote for McDonald.
Anything or making any statement online, it's almost always politicized. And I just don't feel like there's any sort of upside to saying anything online at this point.
What's worse, people that post selfies all day or people that post their political views? Because I unfollow just as fast.
That's a tough call, man. That's a tough call. So I'm equally annoyed by both.
Yeah. Or you go to their Instagram story and there's like a million of those little Pez dispenser, little Tic Tac things. It's like, why do you have 40 things on your story? What the fuck is the matter with you? You need a dog. Let's get you a pet hamster.
Stories are dumb.
Yeah. Social media is
Politics! Yeah,
But
we're getting off the rails.
But you know, that's what I think, which makes beer rad and beer YouTube rad. Is because beer brings people together.
The whole point of beer is just sitting down and having a drink together. So
beer, food, music. That's it. Everything else is pretty much divided, man. Depends if they are nudes. Don Johnson. Dan Johnson.
Wise statement.
Dawson's Creek theme song. What time is it in your neck of the woods? Damn, it's midnight. No, it's not. It's 11 o'clock.
I'm looking at 11 right now.
You're looking at 11. I was going to have I was talking to Trent and I was like, somebody said in the last stream, they're like, hey, you guys got to get some girls on. I was like, okay, there's not too many. I'm not going to get a beer influencer.
Got one on not too long ago, so.
I had a girl on? Oh, yeah. I did have a girl on. Yeah. I'll tell you about that some other time. Yeah. But I hit these girls up and they were brewers. I could tell it's not just selfie influencers with, their beer and their cleavage out, 10,000 selfies of that. But they were actually brewing. And I hit them up and I was like, hey, do you guys want to come on? And they're from Nova Scotia, which is one more hour east of you. And I followed them. We followed each other. And I'm on Instagram a lot because I use it a lot for direct messaging. And I talk to a lot of people. I pretty much use it as text messaging because my flip phone T9 takes forever.
I've had some issues texting you. Yeah.
And you had some issues texting me. Yeah. I only get 500 texts a month and I burn them out pretty fast. I got to go to unlimited fast. But I followed these girls and it was just like, dude, you guys post way too much shit, man. I don't know what the point of this is, but it's people say like content is king and content. Yeah. Like, yes, for a website. Yes. For a YouTube channel. Yes. For any store getting more content. Yes. Instagram. No. Facebook. No. Like make sure it's really, what is Chris D'Elia's whole joke? He's like, hey guys, if it's not funny, interesting, or educational, you know what? You don't have to post it. And then he stares at the camera like, imagine that. So yeah, content is king on some platforms. And on some platforms, it is not king. It's the opposite of king. It's obnoxious.
Yep.
But everybody knows that. Everyone's got a love-hate relationship with social media. I don't have
weird.
one.
You kind of got to figure out how, like which platform makes the most sense for you and which one do you enjoy the most, I guess.
YouTube times
1,000.
Part
of it is also like how much do you get out of it yourself as the poster creator or whatever. So
my only regret with YouTube is not starting it earlier, man, and not just working harder at it my first 2 years. Because the workflow now, but like your first 2 years, you put out a video and then you're like, dude, that took so much out of me. And then you're like, I can't do this again. If I didn't have that mentality for the first 2 years, I think my channel would be bigger. And the bigger a channel gets, the less stress is taken off. The less you can pick and choose your battles more when you want to put out content and edit and stuff like that. And I think we're both.
YouTube is where people go to get information. Like Facebook, Instagram, whatever. That's where they go to get, like, I don't know. They go there to pass time, You go there for an hour, a half hour, whatever, when you don't have time to actually sit down and learn about something. But YouTube is where people go if they actually are invested in a certain area and want to learn more about it.
That's exactly right. And Facebook had this weird, because if you were watching the Social Network movie, Facebook had this weird, I don't know, fruit-like cycle, but it went from only college kids with .edu to getting to everybody coming in now, all ages, and now you're getting text messages from your friend requests from your grandmother and your neighbor who you grew up with and everybody from high school. And now Facebook, and then it just went from like online college yearbook to like just how much can you lose your fucking mind? It's just people going there just to go crazy. And I don't know. I look at the Instagram and Facebook stuff in small doses, and I don't really follow too many people because the more people you follow on platforms like that, the more obnoxious it's going to be. So
it gets annoying.
I quiet the noise pretty fast. And Facebook is so weird because if I get a friend request, I send friend requests out to the brewers who I recommend because I want to see beer pictures and stuff. But if you get a friend request from high school, it's like, who still friend requests people? And now
I got a friend request from somebody
he
who
changed
I
his
had
profile
no
picture.
idea who they were.
He changed his background,
And then
picture?
I took a minute to think about
This guy changed his picture. Now it's
somebody I knew from elementary school. And that was the last time I spoke to them. And
Yeah.
it barely jogged my memory. I'm like, that's who that was?
Yeah, but he's probably a salesman now. He probably hit you up because he's trying to sell you some insurance or some shit.
I have no idea. They haven't talked to me ever.
Refinance your mortgage
spoken to
loan.
them in like 15 years.
Umbrella package. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't know.
Weird. It's weird.
Beer,
There's no
food, and
upside.
music. Beer, food, and music. Steve, we did 2 hours, man. This is cool. I'm sick. And you're on East
All
Coast,
right.
man. We
Good.
pulled it off. One more beer?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it at that though. I think one more is the last one.
I got half of this, and then I'm going to go back to microdosing elephant tranquilizer. No, I'm going to go back to
Yeah.
drinking tea and probably editing another video. What do we got going on? Theron, almost 9. What happened to Jules? Is Jules in here? No, tell us now. What's going on? We lost the chat. We are invested in stuff. Fucking ignoring us. You rule, man. Who's he talking to? Dawson's Creek theme song. Instagram, you get sponsors. Instagram, Facebook, just shut up. David Collette, he's out of here. Got to get to work at 8 in the morning. David, thank you for being here, Barrage. Have a good night. Selling Gold. Goose Fraba, 5 more beers. 5 more. The thing about ginger beer is it fries my mouth. I could do root beers all day. I don't know about these ginger beers, though.
Yeah, ginger is intense. Yeah.
Ginger is intense.
Yeah.
This is like a $5 one, too. Cheaper or less calories, though. This is tough to drink.
Hey, man. Oh, come on.
Dude, I'm 197, man. I'm under 200
Stick out
pounds.
that beard now.
What's up?
Oh, T-Man's making fun of me.
We're getting trolled. We're getting some trolls up in here.
Back off, poor child, seriously.
Goes great with vodka, yeah. Moscow Mules. Vodka, lemon, and ginger beer.
Wow.
Nice, yeah.
Oh, sorry, man. We're trying to get you to fill us in on your date. I met that girl about a month ago at Best Pizza. And we hung out, me, Trevor, and Maury, and we shot the shit with her and her friend. We were talking about, I think we just came from a YouTube video. And we were showing them that, and they followed the Instagram and I think the channel. And then we went back and forth with maybe a couple DMs saying what's going on. And then that night I was drunk or buzzed. And I said, she wrote, hey, we're hanging out in Carlsbad Village right here. And I said, cruise over 665 Magnolia. And like 2 minutes later, she was here. And I was like, holy shit, this is random and kind of intense. And that was it. We hung out.
Is it the girl that was on Happy Hour not too long ago?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, very random. About as random as any night could ever get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Balls. I don't think a lot of people would want to just jump in like that. And the video is redacted. It was a 4-hour stream. We got to take those things down. Steven Delgado, what's up, bro?
Yeah, you keep going. You do keep going.
That was it. That was all that happened, man. And I don't know. That was just interesting. T-Man, what's up, bros? Scored some fresh Mosaic hops for Washington, from Washington.
Gallon brew in a bag.
Stoked on my try to 10-gallon brew in a bag. Any idea how much grains will fit in a 15-gallon kettle? That's a good question for Trent or Steve. How much grain can you stuff in a kettle? Probably a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
we put 8 pounds in mine, and I don't know. It looked like
what
maybe
you want
half
to get out of it. So
Can't drink
Like
this anymore.
typically you want 10-gallon kettle for a 5-gallon batch or 20-gallon kettle for a 10-gallon batch. But depending what kind of beer you're making, you might be fine. So I'm taking it you already have a 15-gallon kettle.
Quadruple IPA.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
30 pounds will fit? Damn, man. That's a lot of booze.
Dude.
30 pounds.
That's a serious grain bill.
That's a lot of malt, bro.
What are you making?
All right, Mr. Muhammad, in my 8-gallon kettle with 6.5 gallons of water, I could fit close to 12 pounds of grain. That is a good answer for what the barrage is trying to hear. 8-gallon kettle, me and Trent did 6 gallons of water. Okay, that seems like it's pretty much to the brim, Mr. Muhammad.
So scaling up a 10-gallon kettle, typically put about 18 pounds of grain tops in it. So 15-gallon kettle, you're probably going to be close to the edge. You might want to reduce the amount of water you have in it, but you might make a thicker mash, but it should be all right.
What about...
You can make it happen. Like, I guarantee you can fit the grain in there. It's just the amount of water you want to add to it. How much sparging you want to do will depend on, like, that's what it will probably influence your overall batch size. So.
Oh, dude, this is fucking gross. Everything's gross tonight.
What are you doing?
I'm doing the ginger beer. Everything's gross, though. I'm gross. This is gross.
Ginger beer is, yeah, that's intense sometimes.
Everything's gross. Hey, are you comfortable answering that question? What do you prefer, Anvil or Clawhammer electric system for Steve?
So I have no experience on the Anvil. I can't honestly answer that question. I love the Clawhammer that I work with, but the Anvil's a lot cheaper. So, I mean, it's half the cost.
Right.
There's a lot of things. So the Clawhammer is good for a lot of reasons. I mean, you have a lot of stuff in that system that you don't get with the Anvil. You know, like all of the electronics and all of the individual parts are not integrated into the kettle, which makes it a lot easier if you break it.
Yeah.
And it also has a steel bottom, so you can actually heat that up with a propane burner or stovetop or whatever if you want.
That's a game changer. I didn't know that.
Yeah. The Anvil is a great system. You know, tons of people vouch for it. And if you want to set your budget, you know, at a lower level, that's perfectly fine. You're going to make great beer with it. You know, yeast uses an Anvil. Bunch of people use an Anvil.
I got an Anvil.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. The Clawhammer is... I would say the Clawhammer is worth the money, but you want to stick to it for a long period of time. You want to get your money's worth out of it and stick with it for at least a couple of years.
Right on. Theron has tipped, super chatted $3. Thanks for reminding me how much I love the Avalanche. Big shout out to Theron, man. He's got a YouTube channel out there too, man. It rocks. Steve, are you still on your first Clawhammer system, or is there a couple newer upgrades or just other systems you have at this point, or is it the OG?
So I have. No, it is not the OG. So I have brewed with several different. I guess it's the first like commercial system I brewed with. The others I've built. So before the Clawhammer, I was using my own system. I made a rim system basically out of a out of a Northern Brewer Megapot and out of a like Brewer's Best kettle, I guess. I recirculated through a kettle and then pushed that back into the mash. Did that for a couple of years, and then I had Brew in a Bag before that, and then before that, before the channel, before anything, it was Brew in a Bag and Extract as well.
Right on. Yeah, my next batch. Todd, I'm doing a Northern Brewers Extract batch on Friday, and I'm really looking forward to that. And
you doing a kit?
I'm doing a kit, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I want to do that too.
I'm going to do the kit, and I want to do it. I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to tell the disclaimer, like, hey, if you know anything about beer, I do not want you here. I want this for the naked eye brewer. I want, if you know what partial mash means, or if you know what
Dude,
All grain
I haven't
means
had the,
you're already
the courage to do that.
You're already watching the wrong video, and then put some spin on it, do some voiceover, talk about, when I was brewing, they were like, hey, don't use a plastic spoon, or don't use a stainless steel spoon, or don't use a wooden spoon. I've used them all, and I've not had a problem with it. Don't let it rest in the boil unless it's a stainless steel spoon. Do not let a plastic spoon or a wooden spoon just sit in your boil. Brew show.
It'll probably melt.
Yeah, definitely not definitely not the plastic one. The Brew show. Use this to get some epic craft sodas for tomorrow night. I will, Brew show. I might upload a video tomorrow night too. I'm making a video right now talking about my first 5 homebrew for life videos, and I think it's going to be an okay video. It's not anything to do with brewing.
I definitely want to get a kit from you guys at some point. It's on my radar. I don't really want to do a starting brewing video right away right now, though.
I do.
I think that's awesome. I don't want to put the pressure on myself, I guess, to get everything 100% right now. That's a lot. Like, if somebody's going to click on a video that says how to brew, I want to be 100% right the whole time. But there's a lot of variations that you can have there.
You talking about extract?
So, no, I would say all grain. I want to kind of focus on where people can start brewing on the all grain side.
Right on. Yeah, I'm gonna do the extract.
That's
one.
a long way in the future.
Yeah, I'm doing Kvike East. I'm doing a dry Kvike East for
That's
that.
a good idea. Yeah,
I'm gonna do that, and then I think that video will be out next week. And then I know we want to shoot a lot of videos at South O Brew side, but I do not know how I'm going to attack that video, because I have a 20-gallon system. I want to do brew in a bag, but Trevor's ceiling, they're so high. So they're like 20 feet high. So I got to figure out how I want to do this pulley system. But I'll probably...
Maybe build like a little A-frame or something. Get some 2x4.
I can do an A-frame. Do you think a ladder could already hold 20 pounds?
That would work, yeah.
I mean, how much is...
Yeah, put that over just like set that over your kettle. And...
That would work, right? I mean, how much is 20 pounds of...
That's fine. That's
20
fine.
pounds of wet spent grain. It's probably at least...
The worst experience I had with brew in a bag was with a Russian Imperial Stout that was like... I think it was 20 pounds. Wow. Yeah, it was like 25 pounds. It wasn't bad, but dry. But when I put it in wet, it was rough getting that thing out of the kettle. But I was lifting from...
Well, it's 20 pounds when it's dry.
I was like starting my lift like here and then pulling it up. Like, it was rough.
Yeah.
So if you get the pulley and everything, you're good to go. You're fine. You can ratchet whatever the fuck you want out of that.
No, I know, but that's the problem, is that I'd probably do it here. Because I really want to do this smoked beer, and that I'm going to do a 5-gallon batch of that. But I can do that in my garage, but it's not going to be using the Anvil kettle. We've got this Anvil kettle. It's so big, and I'm just trying to figure out how to use it.
Well, obviously brew a massive beer with it.
Or just...
Dude, do a barley wine. Do something crazy.
Make a lobster pot, like a lobster night. Some crock pot.
Yeah, you gotta change the meaning of a lobster beer.
Yeah, I mean, if you have an Anvil, or if you have a Grainfather, if you have an all-in-one brew system, you already have the best sous vide thing ever, because it's a quantity thing. So you could put like a whole tenderloin in there. You could put a whole Trent closures. You could put a whole chicken in there. When most people, restaurants and stuff, do sous vide, they have like this little plastic Tupperware thing, and then you have to put the $100 thing in there. I love doing sous vide. I figured it out. You pretty much just set it to 130 degrees. Just set the thicker the steak, set it to 130, hit it with a cast iron, just sear it at the end. Don't sear it too much, because that'll defeat the whole purpose of sous vide. And it's good. And the fresher the meat, the better it's going to taste. I've done sous vide with some meats that I've like, and this is probably with or without sous vide, but I'll bring it out of my freezer. I'll let it defrost, and then I just won't get to it, and I'll put it back in the freezer, and then like another week later, I'll let it defrost again. And do not do that with sous vide. Do not do that with that. What are we talking about? Crab Saison, that guy. It's just Paul. Set it and forget it.
Sous vide with the claw hammer.
CH Josh Wiseman. He's definitely going to be in the video. He's definitely going to be in the video I'm talking about.
Todd's been killing it.
What's that?
I said Todd's been killing it with the chat right now.
Todd's on one, man. We got to get Todd in here. Hopefully I feel better tomorrow. If I feel worse, I might have to take the night off. I mean, I could host it. I could produce it, and if somebody wants to come on and I can kind of shoot the shit a little bit and just talk to the chat. But I don't know. This apple cider vinegar might jack me up even more.
I feel like that's not helping you at all.
I don't think it is either. And this sucked because I shot what was our last video? Brew to Bag for beginners. And I had to postpone that for 2 or 3 days because I couldn't talk. So I am getting better.
That's good.
Yeah. I didn't know. I don't know. And again,
it's probably not the vinegar, but that's good.
No. And like I said, I got tested for COVID, which by
the bacon.
Yeah, I made bacon. I could taste it and I could smell it, which means I don't have COVID. So I think it's just this time of the year where people get sick. It's just winter.
It happens.
It does happen. Snort some ginger beer.
I have not tried sous vide with the claw hammer.
You should. It's delish.
I want to add a heat
while.
source to the claw hammer. I wish I could do a propane burner, but there is a open flame clause with my apartment that does not let me do stuff like that. Otherwise, I would, and I wouldn't be spending 6 hours doing a brew day.
Later, brew show. Later, Braj.
Peace.
Peace out, you brunch. Set it and forget it. Ladder works best based on my one time using it. Shout out to James. Shout out to Party Time. Steven Delgado. 2 hours, 15 minutes, man. We're doing it. Drinking my first pressure fermented Marzen and Corny. Only able to make 4 gallons, but made 2, and it's rocking. Gonna try it in Sankey after big tip from CH. Shout out to T-Man. Yeah, that was a good video. Shout out to Kevin Fiddler for telling me about that adapter.
I bought that Sankey adapter from your video.
It's awesome. Does Kevin Fiddler
I gotta try it.
Comment on your videos? Kevin Fiddler?
I don't know.
He's got really good advice. There's been 3 or 4 comments he said, and I was like, dude, you need to write for Homebrew for Life. And by write, I mean keep commenting and I can steal your ideas. Who's passing out? Todd Jackson.
It was awesome to have him in here.
Yeah, Todd, have a good night, man. Cheers, Braj.
Supports both the channels, and that's a big deal. So,
Ron Papil coming in hot. You know what was cool was John Blickman went on Short Circuited stream a couple Sundays ago.
Wow. Steve,
your apartment closes at 5 p.m. Hoping the Dodgers lose tonight. I'm hoping the Dodgers lose too. Anybody but the Dodgers.
Get over here.
Well, what do you say, Steve? Let's. I know it's late on your neck of the woods, and you're trying to get out of here.
I'm looking to probably close it out pretty soon. So,
anything you want to talk about or plug, or we got a merch? Do you want to talk about upcoming videos or new merch, or?
Yeah, I'll talk about upcoming videos.
I'll put your merch in the chat really fast.
Yeah, I mean, I have merch. I don't like plugging it, but it is there.
It works if you plug it, but it's cringe.
Yeah, you know it. I am if you look at the beginning of this, jeez, I've had like 3 or 4. Hold on.
You still sound better than me, man. Trust me.
Quite sober.
You still sound better than me.
This is not a sober October for your guy here.
No, he's got to increase the dosage.
I've had like 5 or 6 beers tonight. So, I have a Vienna Lager video coming up pretty soon. I'll be finishing out the Pilsner series, which I know a number of you guys are following. So, the New Zealand Pilsner is coming out next week, and then doing a couple other kind of off the wall kind of videos. And then we got a Vienna Lager coming. We've got a couple other brews planned for the the fall and the winter, I'm thinking about doing a Bock,
Chris Vodka.
like a traditional Bock, like a German Bock. I've loved lagers after the amount of times that I've used them in the Pilsner series, so it's a good time. Probably gonna do a Weizenbock for the holidays, a strong wheat beer. I might spice it. Should be fun. So. Yeah, I really don't plan out my videos very well, so if you see any of those, consider yourself lucky because they actually happened. Otherwise, let me know if you guys have suggestions or
what you guys
ideas.
want to see.
It's always fun. Yeah, this is all about. Honestly, I get a lot of feedback from the community about people who want me to make certain things, and that's a large part of the inspiration that I get my brewing from. So let me know. I'd love to try out some new stuff.
I got a question for you, Steve, because I'm going to make this beer.
Shoot.
I do not know what style I want to do, though. If you were going to make a Cinnamon Toast Crunch beer, would you go brown ale, stout, or dark lager? Or anything else? Any other style?
That's interesting. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I feel like it could be good in all of those things, but probably best in
Brown ale, stout. Chris Palmer, if you're going to have merch, you might as well plug it. Make a t-shirt of that and I'll buy it. Make a coffee mug of that. I'll get that tattooed on my forehead right next to my Josh Wiseman tattoo. Dark lager, Zach Pearson. You cut out,
it's
Steve.
under every video, so
Steve, what
I kind of rely on the merch thing that shows up below the videos to kind of sell it. So
push the merch, talk about it. I always love giving people shout outs for my merch because I would want to shout out if I bought one of my YouTube channels that I likes merch. But I understand the cringe. We all feel like friends and we know each other, and selling shit to your friends.
The thing I hate about it is
worst.
how much it costs to the actual person who's buying it, because Teespring takes like 60% of it, and it's like you make a t-shirt cost $25. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No,
I hear you. And sometimes it's crazy because you see, like I'm right around the $22 mark, and I see a lot of people doing it for like 25 or 28, and I'm just like, I don't know, but people are buying it. I don't know. It
comes down to like how much are you making out of it at the end of the day, and per shirt sale, it's like depending on whether you pick the basic one or the premium one. It's like you make $4 or you make like $8.
Always do premium because I've had experience with.
Yeah, but it costs more.
Yeah, but I've bought some comfort tees off some of my favorite YouTubers. And they suck. The t-shirts are super rigid. I'd rather just pay more because you get Next Level or Bella Voss, and those are like the most comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the middle one is like just some Target Hanes thing. But Bella Voss and Next Level, every brewery that I pretty much go to when I buy their merch, it's all them. It's all them.
Nice.
T-Man, CH or Tank Top Rocks. Shout out to T-Man for repping the merch, man. But
Nice.
If we don't end it now, it's going to go on forever, man. But Steve, I want to thank you for being here. I'm going to chop some of this shit up too.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, man.
I do appreciate it. It was a good time, and I love talking to the chat. I love talking to you, and
likewise,
it's always a good time to just chat about beer.
Yes, sir. That's what it's about. And we're 50-50 for tomorrow night. Steve, you're coming back on if I am feeling better. But
I can't do tomorrow night.
No,
tomorrow
I'm kidding.
night I gotta. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Am I kidding?
Okay.
We're not going anywhere, Steve. We're doing 4 more hours. All right, Chris Vodka, Jorge Castro,
4
man.
hours.
Jorge, maybe I'll hit you up tomorrow. I know you were just on. I don't know if people get burned out on this or whatnot. But want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for watching Steve's and my channel. Thanks for the love on the we got a lot of merch store love from the last video. I appreciate that. Shout out to Chris Vodka and Jules Game Art for helping me out with the graphics, and that's what I wanted to say on my end. And Steve, you have a good night, man. I know you're getting up in like 7 hours, and I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow night, huh?
Take it easy.
All right, everyone have a good one. Later, guys.